buddy. Oh, like in the glasses, bro. Let's go. Wait, do a little side profile. I think is that a flag on the side? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I
We
can't see
loving
shit.
it. We loving it, man. We loving it. Yeah, man. I'm kind of pumped up for tonight, bro.
I noticed that, bro.
Just so you guys know, we're reporting live from Washington D.C. White House.
Yeah, we're in the White House right now. Yep. Yeah. The presidential debate is not here, unfortunately. We took a tour of the Oval Office.
Exactly.
Yeah, it smelled like a subway in New York. All right. Anyways, no, I'm just kidding.
Let me refresh this. Make sure we up. Oh, we up. We up, baby. I'm watching us right now.
We live, baby.
I'm excited about tonight, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna, if anything, it's gonna be,
it's gonna be comical.
Yes, exactly. I'm ready for some laughter, bro. And then obviously there's some real stuff that's gonna be being discussed.
Yeah.
So I like to commentate on that stuff. You know what I mean? And also get the people's feedback. What people are thinking, because guess what? There's a whole lot of people thinking a whole lot of totally different things.
Right.
You know what I mean? And everybody's equally as passionate, but they just feel totally different about it. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Which is good. Which is good.
Again, disclaimer: we're gonna keep it neutral in here.
You are.
Obviously, if you're passionate about one side or the other,
just joking.
I mean, you could say whatever you want to say, but like, I'm not gonna make anybody feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, we're not here to bash nobody.
The circus is in town.
Yeah, buddy. Circus.
So what do we got? It starts at 9 o'clock. We're at 8:40.
Yeah,
all right, let's break it down, man. So
we got 20 minutes.
What are you expecting here? What do you think's gonna come out of this? Do you think it's just gonna be a bunch of circus, or do you think we're gonna get anything positive out of this?
Listen, we're gonna get some. We're gonna get some clips. Obviously, we're gonna get some gotcha moments. That's what they're both hoping to get. If we're being honest, I think personally, and I'm gonna try to come at this fairly. You know what I mean? But I think that Trump's gonna have a little bit more substance as far as like talking about policies, plans, what he's actually gonna do. I think she is going to be more so, just looking for a moment where people will be like, "Oh, look at like a clip." You know what I mean?
Yeah. She
got him.
I feel like now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot against Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot of dirt on him, and I wouldn't say it's all like. Some of it is, led by other people.
Yep.
But I think what the big topic is right now is like she's gonna have a lot more to fight for because she's currently the vice president. So if she claims or promises something, she's gonna have to like explain how she can get that to happen because currently she's the vice president. So why isn't she making it happen right now? Yes. So I think that's a little bit of what she's gonna have to fight for on that end. Just because,
No, for sure. Sorry, I was trying to find my mouse over here.
You're good. Yo, Michael.
But Mike in the house. Mike actually might join us on the stream. I did talk to him earlier. He said potentially he might jump on.
Yeah, man.
Mike's been very passionate about, this whole ordeal as well. You know what I mean? Yep. What I'm gonna do though, and
maybe we can get Mike to do one of those amazing Trump impersonations.
Oh, you remember that, right?
That was hilarious.
That was good stuff. I'm just adjusting my mic here because it was kind of in my way, and I wanted to get it out the way. There we go. So, what is everybody thinking, man? Matt said I got 50. Oh, they start fist fighting. Okay, that would be damn.
I would pay $50 to see that.
That would Scott. We would have memes for the whole year or the next 10 years if that happened.
That was Matt.
No, Scott said all we're getting is some fire memes for the week. See, boom.
Oh, I thought you meant what Matt said. The $50.
He said rather have dirt on me than what she's had. Whoa. That ain't right, man. But that's what we're here for, baby.
Kamala.
I won't play the song yet. Oh, but listen, before we really
I can't wait for this election's over. Whether who wins, so you get rid of that.
We're in a little bit. We're going to kind of dive into like see what the pregame talk is about with the people before they dive in. Man, we're 15 minutes away from damn near. Yeah. This has been highly anticipated, man.
It's been very anticipated, very very anticipated.
One thing I hope you don't fall for that she's gonna try to get him pissed off so she can have that moment of like, I don't know if in the past you had a moment with Mike Pence. She's like, I'm speaking, like you know what I mean, like I'm the woman, I'm speaking.
Wait.
She don't do none of that crap.
But they can't do that.
No,
because they're muting their mics in between each, so they cannot cut each other off.
Exactly, and it's weird because
you're gonna catch a lot of the because the mic's gonna be off.
Exactly. Yep. And it's crazy because they fought for that. Like they're the ones who wanted that rule when it was Biden, but then they try to switch it when it came to her. Say, oh no, we want the mics on. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, let me go back to the chat, man. The one thing I did forget is my popcorn, baby. God darn it. Gosh darn it. It's all good.
I can't have it right now.
It's all right. I'll go grab some in a little bit. Yeah, man. 15 minutes away, baby. Come on. Want to see what they're talking about on some of these streams? Let's see. I'm gonna pull this.
I don't know if it's me or you, but you're lagging pretty bad.
It's you, buddy. Mine is smooth sailing on my end. Anybody got me lagging? Who's lagging? Yeah, nah, we ain't lagging.
I don't know. It's you froze on my end, so good here. All right, maybe it's just me. That's fine.
Yeah, buddy. All right, let's see. Let's put some stuff on.
Yeah, let's see what we got for the pre.
Let's see what they're talking about.
The chatter turned down the internal discussion in the Democratic Party that perhaps they should make a change. That debate solidified that, and that's, I think, in
man, look at that chat.
Yeah, can you take that chat off though?
No, because I kind of want to inspire people.
We did. They're a lot better.
It's kind of just
plagiarizing Kamala Harris in this race, Andrew. The numbers back this up. There was polling that came out just today from the Washington Post. Harris now up 8 points in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Now,
look at that green screen on his hairdo.
That's a state that Joe Biden won by 10 points 4 years ago. But when Biden was in the race, there were several polls, including Fox News.
Don't mind us. We're going to be roasting people at the same time.
My bad. I realized I had the wrong mic on. It was coming from my webcam.
That would have been a tough
okay.
for them to reach. However,
wait, did you have no audio the whole time?
Democrats to spend
no, I had audio,
money,
but it sounded like I was coming from like a toilet bowl.
State that President Biden had won by double digits. So Harris now has them at least, in Virginia, back on some.
All right, so this guy, it's hard to listen to these clowns. Because you know why? Like, I just want to
keep that on. Just mute them.
Just mute them? All right, let's put it in the background.
Yeah, so let's put that back on and just mute it and play.
Look at my boy's face. He has to act like he's mad concerned.
All right, hit play and just hit mute.
All right, here we go. Wada bang, wada boom.
Solid ground over the margin of error.
Mute. Hey, get out of there.
Yeah, it gives us
some background, right?
Yeah.
Let me get this out the way. Yeah, man. So this shit's gonna be live, bruh.
I mean, it is live.
It's stupid. I'm saying once they get going, man, some people gonna be turning up with us. Some people gonna be offended. Some people gonna all that stuff. But you know what? It's all good, baby.
It's this. You can't be offended by what's actually happening, right?
Exactly. Donnie was in an on-site portable septic.
Yeah. We got a good sponsorship from.
Yo, for real.
Yep.
Master did good here. Said that's better. Bada bang, bada boom.
Yo, do me a favor, Ro.
Yep.
Just in case somebody wants to hear this, can you go to the bottom?
Yes.
Of your video that you're sharing?
Yep.
And then go to CC in the corner.
Oh, you know what? That was pretty smart, brother.
Oh, maybe they don't. It's not available. That sucks. Okay, whatever.
We only got 12 minutes until it's game time. You know what I mean?
Yep. How you feeling, man? You know what this kind of feels like, right? I don't know why, but it gives me that feeling like we're waiting for the ball to drop for New Year's. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like it's the anticipation. Like it's like, we're ready for New Year's. Like we're ready for the ball to drop.
For real. Nah, I got the same anticipation, man. I just really want to see. Excuse me. What was that?
Oh,
okay.
Excuse me, Mister. You had us in the short. I was gonna say the short bus. That's so bad. I was. You got to piss off them Democrats talking like that, buddy. I know. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't know we could blow ourselves up like that, man.
It's crazy that this is such a big deal, right? Like they're gonna crack, like, you know what I mean? They're gonna do jabs at each other. I feel like little petty jokes and stuff, but like this is like the future of the world.
Exactly.
The United States is a big deal, right? So it's a big deal. We're a power country. So the leaders.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Put it on the screen, buddy.
Oh.
Oh, whoa. Oh, snap. Wait, let's do a disclaimer. So some of oh, Mike's ready to come through. Mike, I'm gonna send you a link, buddy. So
it looks like I'm gonna have to switch this around a little bit when 3 people, so it's gonna look like this. Is that okay?
That's all good. That's all good.
Yeah, I'd rather have people on and look like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Mike, I'm gonna go ahead and send you the link, man. So obviously things could get a little bit weird in here. You know what I mean? And you're gonna get some comments that gonna be a little explicit.
The only thing
it's uncut, baby. Let's go.
The only thing I ask, right? The 2 people that are on debate tonight, Trump and Harris, you can say whatever you want. I don't give a shit. Just don't talk shit about somebody else in the chat. We're not gonna bash on each other.
Yeah,
I don't care what you guys. I don't care what you do about the candidates, but just let's keep it clean. We're all family here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody love everybody.
I'm pre-offended. Well, you should be.
Who the hell said that? Yo, you gotta be in.
It's Barbara Matt, bro.
Barbara Matt in the house. Let's go, baby. We should have did a live stream from Barbara Matt's, please.
Send it to my email. He said. What is this? I get my secretary on it.
Where's your email? I don't even know your email. Send me your email through Facebook Messenger, and I will email it to you. So send me a message on Facebook with your email, and then I will.
You can send it. You can send it to me, but like add your social security number and all that.
Yeah, date of birth.
Mm-hmm. Your first pet's name.
Damn,
Yo, have you ever?
I hate the basketball. Why does she always look like she just got done drinking wine every time you see? That was just a joke. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. Look at that. Oh man, let me not piss anybody off before.
You think they pregame before they're?
Hey, you know what? If they did, I ain't mad because I would. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have a little glass of whiskey or something before I go talk to the whole world. You know what I mean?
I mean, your nerves
the edge off,
rolling,
you know what I mean?
dude.
Exactly.
I wonder if like big meetings with the government officials have ever had like a drink, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, start pouring, like this is gonna be a big deal. Like, you know what I mean?
I think so, buddy. I think it's like that. I think it's like
you ever seen the videos where like the cop pulls out the whiskey from the drawer and he's like, it's been a rough day. You know what I mean? Like, and you're like, what the fuck? Yo, you're an official. Like, you're making some serious life changes.
For real.
Wow.
I just copied the link. I'm gonna send it, Mike. I'm just gonna send it to you on Facebook, bro. What the problem is?
I'm gonna start adding. I'm sending stuff onto the screen, so don't do it because it takes it off when you do it.
On my other dude too. Let's tell him come through, but yeah,
I'm pre-offended. He said wine calms the nerves of older women.
I must have an older woman somewhere in me because I be banging on that wine sometimes, buddy. Mike, see if you can do it through Facebook, man. How
many screens you got going on there? What do you?
I got so many screens, but the problem is not the screen. The problem is that I can't see the damn chat because my light's in front of me. But I did it. I'm good.
Time out.
Yep.
Can we talk about something real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Can we just appreciate the fit?
Oh yeah. What are we talking about, yo?
Your fit. What you're wearing.
Yeah. I'll try to get presidential, you know what I mean?
This boy came in dressed, ready to go.
Because I'm like, yo, listen, when we go viral, bro, like this is forever.
Forever?
So yeah, I had to come through prepared, you know what I mean?
Yep. Plus, I wish you gave me a heads up. I would have put something on.
I told you last week I was getting dressed.
You did not say that.
I would have wore a blazer, but
I got a blazer. Should I just put a blazer over this?
Yeah, you could, yeah. You could. I'm trying to respond to my dude before this gets rocking, but it's not. Oh, you know what? Let me respond to him on my phone. So that way I'm not looking at the damn thing. All right, so I just sent it to Mike. Mike's about to come through. Hit them with a 1, 2. Anybody else that want to jump on? We can have up to 12 people on the screen at the one time.
With the stream up?
Yeah, with the stream up. It'll be all around the edges of the thing.
All right, clear it up. I have pants on. I do.
Oh yeah, you guys don't even have pants on. Yeah,
I have pants on. Jay is not allowed to stand up right now. My boy just was like, "Oh,
yeah, you got to keep the pants right there, just so when the stream's over, I can put them back on and go about my business." You know what I mean? Oh shit, I'm gonna tell my dude because he's probably gonna come through too. He be posting the fire memes on the book, man.
Oh yeah,
about like political stuff. So like that's why I hit him. I'm like, yo, bro, we going live tonight, baby. Let me tell him,
game time.
Yeah, we live right now on Facebook, man. You could jump on the stream too if you want to get down with us. I can send you a link. Let me know. But go to my Facebook page. You're gonna see we on right now. That's how we do it. Yo, 5 minutes, baby. Woo. Maybe we should play some music. Get turned up. Watch this.
Kamala.
Nah, I won't do it to him. Let's just leave it. 5 minute countdown, buddy. This thing is not caught up to live, so I'm gonna fast forward so that way we don't come into the thing late. There we go. Now we're all caught up on live.
Hit play. You're not played.
Boom.
We're live now. It says
Now we're live. Perfect. Perfecto. Un momento.
Perfecto. Un momento. Where are they? Texas?
I'm not even sure.
No, I was looking at the thing. Oh, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
Philadelphia. Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow.
Well, hey.
Wow.
Ain't that where you was just at?
And yeah, nah, not Philly. No.
Oh, no.
But isn't that where he just got shot? Damn.
You try to set my boy up.
Damn. Put him back.
This dude said send it to my email.
Philly. Yeah. He sent it to my accountant, and then my accountant will send it out.
Samuel Lee Brown likes your video. 2024. Samuel. Thanks for coming through, Samuel. We're about to get this thing rocking tonight. Rocking tonight. 4 minutes away.
My boots rocking.
Mike better hurry up and get in here. He's probably putting on a suit too.
Yo, Barbara Matt messaged me saying cutting into my pregame debate party time. We came in a little late. Whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. We're pre-gaming.
Now I want a cheesecake. Hell yeah! I had one when I was there too in PA.
Not a cheesecake, a cheesesteak.
That's what I meant.
Oh.
What's up, Samuel?
Yo, Samuel, we appreciate y'all. I mean, y'all. We appreciate you.
Yo, you just pulled a come out.
I did. I made an accent up and everything. We appreciate y'all.
Damn.
I wonder what accent she's gonna use tonight.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that all day. I'm like, I wonder what accent she's gonna use. Like her regular voice? Is she gonna go down south with it?
I don't know.
She's gonna talk like she's still a slave or something? Because she be making that old I don't want.
She comes out. Top of the morning to you.
Yeah. It's a great debate. I say it is. Yes, it is. Some crazy shit. All right. I don't know where Mike's at, bro. Mike's coming through. He's getting dressed. I know Mike. Doing now.
Better put pants on.
All right. We got 2 minutes, man. I'm pumped, bro. Yeah, this does feel like this does feel like
New Year's, right?
New Year's, bro. Like I'm ready to count down and shit, man. Oh yeah, they've been training her for like weeks. Probably telling her whatever you do not giggle. Oh, Donnie, did you nah, because now I'm just bashing her. I'm gonna stop. I was gonna ask you if you brought any salad dressing. Because you're about to get a whole bunch of word salads. That's my last one. Now I'm gonna be what's that word? I'm gonna be non-biased, I'm gonna be a neutral source here on the stream. We got 1 minute, bro. I don't know if these are the people. Are these the people? Or should we go to actual ABC?
I don't know.
Just stay here.
I can look at my side, but you are. It says live ABC on top.
Okay. Let me tell this dude. What's your? Oh, this shit ain't working. I'm gonna send him a message. Proud to be an American. I just sent it to your messenger, bro. I do not have your email. Just click on the link I sent you.
Yeah, but he might be trying to do it on his computer. That's why.
Okay.
So I just asked what his email is. Like, if you're still watching,
you gonna send it to him?
Send it to me. I don't know how to get the link, but I can. Do I just copy the link on the top?
No, go to guest. Like where you see the screen, you can add and
add a guest. Oh, and take that, copy that link.
Yep, copy that link and then email it to Mike. Did Mike send you his email?
No.
All right, Mike, I'm gonna send your email to Donald, and then he's gonna send you a link.
Wow.
Yeah, we're getting real presidential tonight, buddy.
Donald.
We're sending to Donald.
The Donald.
The Don.
Mr. Meister, Burgermeister.
Copy. Here comes his email, bro.
Copy and paste it to who? Me?
Yeah, I'm sending you his email right now.
Okay.
Then you can send him a link. Bang!
Okay.
There it is. It's bbls125@aol.com.
Yo.
Oh shit. It's Timu BBLs.
That's funny, bro.
I think we're on, man. Let me go ahead and get this audio going.
Turn up a little. You don't have to go loud.
Ever. A historic race for president upended just weeks ago. President Biden withdrawing.
Look at them shoulder pads. Holy moly, guacamole.
Trump now up against a new opponent.
The candidates separated by the smallest of margins, essentially tied in the polls nationally and in the key battlegrounds, including right here in Pennsylvania, all still very much in play. The ABC News presidential debate starts right now.
Let's do it.
This is an ABC News special. The most consequential moment of this campaign. Kamala
check your email.
We will chart a new way forward.
Donald Trump.
We will soon be a great nation again.
Face to face. Historic. The ABC News presidential debate. Here now, David Muir and Lindsay Davis.
Good evening, I'm David Muir, and thank you for joining us for tonight's ABC News presidential debate. We want to welcome viewers watching on ABC and around the world tonight. Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump are just moments away from taking the stage in this unprecedented race for president.
And I'm Lindsay Davis. Tonight's meeting could be the most consequential event of their campaigns, with Election Day now less than 2 months away. For Vice President Kamala Harris, this is her first debate since President Biden withdrew from the race on July 21st. Of course, that decision followed his debate against President Donald Trump in June. Since then, this race has taken on an entirely new dynamic.
And that brings us to the rules of tonight's debate. 90 minutes with 2 commercial breaks. No topics or questions have been shared with the campaigns.
Yeah, right.
The candidates will have 2 minutes to answer questions, and
this is the clock. Shot, boy.
That's what they'll be seeing. 2 minutes for rebuttals.
You hug her the wrong way, you're gonna slice your damn head off.
Their microphones will only be turned on when it's their turn to speak. No pre-written notes allowed. There is no audience here tonight in this hall at the National Constitution Center. This is an intimate setting for 2 candidates who have never met.
President Trump won the coin toss. He chose to deliver the final closing statement of the evening. Vice President Harris selected the podium to the right.
So let's now welcome the candidates to the stage. Vice President Kamala Harris and President Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris. Accept the debate. Thank you.
Welcome to you both. It's wonderful to have you. It's an honor to have you both here tonight.
Good evening. We are looking forward to it.
He is, but it's camera's not on, so I don't know if he's setting stuff up.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I want to begin tonight with the issue that voters repeatedly say is their #1 issue, and that is the economy and the cost of living in this country. Vice President Harris, you and President Trump were elected 4 years ago, and your opponent on the stage here tonight
I'll let him get
often
it figured
asks
out.
his supporters, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid. And I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America. I believe in the ambitions, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people. And that is why I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. Because here's the thing.
Oh, sounds like opportunity
We know
zones.
that we have a shortage of homes and housing. And the cost of housing is too expensive for far too many people. We know that young families need support
How many years before
to raise their children, and I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000, which is the largest child tax credit that we have given in a long time, so that those young families can afford to buy a crib, buy a car seat, buy clothes for their children. My passion, one of them, is small businesses. My mother raised my sister and me, but there was a woman who helped raise us. We call her our second mother. She was a small business owner. I love our small businesses. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to startups.
Let me just finish hearing all this
knowing they are
malarkey
part
first.
of the backbone of America's economy. My opponent, on the other hand, his plan is to do what he has done before, which is to provide a tax cut for billionaires and big corporations, which will result in $5 trillion to America's deficit. My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump's sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Economists have said that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year, because of his policies and his ideas about what should be the backs of middle-class people paying for tax cuts for billionaires.
President Trump, I'll give you 2 minutes.
First of all, I have no sales tax. That's an incorrect statement. She knows that. We're doing tariffs on other countries. Other countries are going to finally, after 75 years, pay us back for all that we've done for the world. And the tariff will be substantial in some cases. I took in billions and billions of dollars, as you know, from China. In fact, they never took the tariff off because there was so much money they can't. It would totally destroy everything that they've set out to do. They're taking in billions of dollars from China and other places. They've left the tariffs on. When I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation. Look, we've had a terrible economy because inflation which is really known as a country buster. It breaks up countries. We have inflation like very few people have ever seen before, probably the worst in our nation's history. We were at 21%, but that's being generous because many things are 50, 60, 70, and 80% higher than they were just a few years ago. This has been a disaster for people, for the middle class, but for every class. On top of that, we have millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums, and they're coming in and they're taking jobs that are occupied right now by African Americans and Hispanics, and also unions. Unions are going to be affected very soon. And you see what's happening. You see what's happening with towns throughout the United States. You look at Springfield, Ohio. You look at Aurora in Colorado. They are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently. These are the people that Xi and Biden led into our country, and they're destroying our country. They're dangerous. They're at the highest level of criminality, and we have to get them out. We have to get them out fast. I created one of the greatest economies in the history of our country. I'll do it again and even better.
We are going to get to immigration and border security during this debate, but I would like to let Vice President Harris respond on the economy here.
Well, I would love to. Let's talk about what Donald Trump left us. Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess. What we have done and what I intend to do is build on what we know are the aspirations and the hopes of the American people. But I'm going to tell you all in this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook, a bunch of lies, grievances, and name calling. What you're going to hear tonight
she's telling you what she's going to do.
A detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again. I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump will give you a minute here to respond.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas, I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic, and the pandemic was not since 1917, where 100 million people died, has there been anything like it. We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic. We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came in.
Yeah, I made a lot of money in the stock market.
We made ventilators for the entire world.
You remember that, bro?
We got gowns,
I was like,
we
well, Don, you
got
got to buy them
masks,
stocks.
we
You
did
got to get
things
this.
that
You got to get
nobody
that.
thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military. They give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great job we did with the pandemic. But the only jobs they got were bounce back jobs. These were jobs bounce back, and it bounced back, and it went to their benefit. But I was the one that created them. They know it, and so does everybody else.
Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond.
So Donald Trump has no plan for you. And when you look at his economic plan, it's all about tax breaks for the richest people. I am offering what I describe as an opportunity economy, and the best economists in our country, if not the world, have reviewed our relative plans for the future of America. What Goldman Sachs has said is that Donald Trump's plan would make the economy worse. Mine would strengthen the economy. What the Wharton School has said is Donald Trump's plan would actually explode the deficit. 16 Nobel laureates have described his economic plan as something that would increase inflation and by the middle of next year would invite a recession. You just have to look at where we are and where we stand on the issues. And I'd invite you to know that Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
That's just a soundbite. They gave her that to say. I went to the Wharton School of Finance, and many of those professors, the top professors, think my plan is a brilliant plan. It's a great plan. It's a plan that's going to bring up our worth, our value as a country. It's going to make people want to be able to go and work and create jobs and create a lot of good, solid money for our country. And just to finish off, she doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan. And it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run. 4 sentences that are just, oh, we'll try and lower taxes. She doesn't have a plan. Take a look at her plan. She doesn't have a plan.
Mr. President, I do want to drill down on something you both brought up. The Vice President brought up your tariffs. You responded, and let's drill down on this because your plan is what she calls is essentially a national sales tax. Your proposal calls for tariffs, as you pointed out here, on foreign imports across the board. You recently said that you might double your plan, imposing tariffs up to 20% on goods coming into this country. As you know, many economists say that with tariffs at that level, costs are then passed on to the consumer. Vice President Harris has argued it'll mean higher prices on gas, food, clothing, medication, arguing it costs the typical family nearly $4,000 a year. Do you believe Americans can afford higher prices?
Does that sound like what we're living in right now?
Higher prices. What's going to have, and who's going to have higher
prices? We got to
talk
over these people
China
a little bit. Yeah?
And all of the countries that have been ripping us off for years. I was the only president ever. China was paying us hundreds of billions of dollars, and so were other countries. And, you know, if she doesn't like them, they should have gone out and they should have immediately cut the tariffs. But those tariffs are there 3.5 years now under their administration. We are going to take in billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars. I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation perhaps
she looks
in
like
the
she has to
history of our
poop.
country because I've never seen a worse period of time.
She's been practicing that face for a whole week.
Cereal or bacon or eggs.
They're like, listen, I want you to look like you got like your period dog in.
The country are absolutely
poop
dying
comes out,
with
the
what
poop
they've
goes
done.
back in.
They've destroyed the economy, and all you have to do is look at the poll.
Did somebody
the polls
fart?
say
What does that smell?
80 and 85 and even 90% that the Trump economy was great, that their economy was terrible.
It would make sense because she's
Vice
so
President
full of
Harris,
shit.
I do want to ask for your response, and you heard what the president said there, because the Biden administration did keep a number of the Trump tariffs in place. So how do you respond?
Well, let's be clear that the Trump administration resulted in a trade deficit, one of the highest we've ever seen in the history of America. He invited trade wars. You want to talk about his deal with China? What he ended up doing is, under Donald Trump's presidency, he ended up selling
Mike, do you have audio though? Can you come on with audio?
To help them
you can come with audio.
improve and
we'll put you on with
modernize
just
their
audio.
military, basically sold us out, when a policy about China should be in making sure the United States of America wins the competition for the 21st century, which means focusing on the details of what that requires, focusing on relationships with our allies, focusing on investing in American-based technology so that we win the race on AI, on quantum computing,
Mike, you can hear us?
focusing on what we need to do to support America's workforce so that we don't end up having on the short end of the stick in terms of workers' rights. But what Donald Trump
join
did,
from your phone.
let's talk about
you
this,
can join from
with
your phone,
COVID,
bro.
is he actually
It'll be better.
thanked President Xi for what he did during COVID. Look at his tweet. Thank you, President Xi, exclamation point, when we know that Xi was responsible for lacking and not giving us transparency about the origins of COVID.
President Trump, I'll let you respond.
First of all, they bought their chips from Taiwan. We hardly make chips anymore because of philosophies like they have and policies like they have. I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy. But if she ever got elected, she'd change
just repeating everything he says.
It will be the end of our country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country,
staged.
and when you look at these
100%,
millions and millions of people that are pouring into our country monthly, where it's, I believe, 21 million people,
what's sad, though?
not the
People
15
really
that
are
people
watching
say,
and will fall
and I think
for
it's
that,
a lot
like, you know what I
higher
mean?
than the 21.
Like,
That's
Leah,
bigger
look at
than
him,
New
girl.
York
Look at
State
him.
pouring in. And just look at what they're doing to our country. They're criminals. Many of these people coming in are criminals. And that's bad for our economy, too. You know, you mentioned before, we'll talk about immigration later. Well, bad immigration is the worst thing that can happen to our economy.
Yeah.
They have, and she has, destroyed our country with policy that's insane. Almost policy that you'd say they have to hate our country.
President Trump, thank you. Lindsay?
I want to turn to the issue of abortion. President Trump, you've often touted that you were able to kill Roe v. Wade. Last year, you said that you were proud to be the most pro-life president in American history. Then last month, you said that your administration would be great for women and their reproductive rights. In your home state of Florida, you surprised many with regard to your 6-week abortion ban because you initially had said that it was too short. And you said, quote, I'm going to be voting that we need more than 6 weeks. But then the very next day, you reversed course and said you would vote to support the 6-week ban. Vice President Harris says that women shouldn't trust you on the issue of abortion because you've changed your position so many times. Therefore, why should they trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is...
Send it back to the states.
They have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, who's doing an excellent job, but the governor before, he said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's why I did that, because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that. And her vice presidential pick, which I think was a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he is really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month.
Mike in the house is
absolutely fine.
What's with the times, bro?
Execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion.
I had to put the red on to support my, support my red side.
With me, hence the vote. But what I did is something for 52 years. They've been trying to get Roe v. Wade into the states. And through
look at you, man. You look official. You look like an announcer for NFL.
No facts.
6 Supreme Court
looking
justices,
good, my guy. For real.
We were able to do that. Now, I believe in the exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. I believe strongly in it. Ronald Reagan did also.
Why does she look like she's trying to look more black than she is?
Because they was coaching her like the whole time. Like she probably watched mad like videos of black women responding to stuff. Like, see how their eyes squint? That's how you got it.
She looks like she wants to snap her fingers and like,
before, every Democrat, every Republican,
You better thank a
liberal,
union member.
conservative, they all wanted this issue to be brought back to the states where the people could vote. And that's what happened.
God, for real.
happened. Now, Ohio,
How did you guys get that
the
background?
vote was somewhat liberal.
Green screen.
The
We're at the
vote
White
was
House.
somewhat liberal, much more liberal than people would have thought. But each individual state.
Ready?
How do I do it?
Here's a little
It's
behind the
the vote
scene.
of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. Took
Is it like
courage
an-
to
is
do
it like part
And
of the app,
Supreme
or-
Court had
No,
great courage
we
in
actually have
doing
green
it.
screen.
And I
Watch,
give
I'll show you.
tremendous
Ready?
credit
This
to
is what it
those
looks like
6
without it.
justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby
Gotcha.
after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response
Oh,
to
God.
President Trump.
Well, as I said, you're going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact.
There they go.
Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump
This is so annoying.
hand-selected
but
3
it's
members of
entertaining
the
at same
United
time.
States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a
Oh, she about to
crime
get
of
sentimental.
violation
Look at her
to
face.
their body
Yeah.
does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral.
Why is she talking
And
with her hands
one
like
does
that?
not have to abandon
That's
their
all coaching,
faith
man.
or
Right.
deeply held beliefs to agree. The government and Donald Trump certainly should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I
Whoa.
have talked with women around our country.
Isn't she the
You
government?
want to talk about this is what
Exactly.
people wanted? Pregnant women who want
Exactly.
to carry a pregnancy to term.
I mean, I don't think
suffering
anybody
from
knows what a woman
miscarriage,
is
being
anymore.
denied care in an emergency room because the
Depends how you wake
healthcare
up.
providers are
Right.
afraid they
Oh, no, you
might go to
didn't.
jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband
must have
didn't
happened to
want
her.
that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. And I pledge to you, when
I
Congress
pledge to you.
passes a bill to put back in place the protections of Roe v. Wade, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if Donald Trump were
Why don't you
to
just
be
do it now? You're
reelected,
vice
he
president.
will
Exactly.
sign a national
Right.
abortion
Yeah,
ban.
I bet he's
gonna
I'm
say
saying
that.
in
Hasn't
his
happened
Project
before.
2025,
Yep.
there would be a national abortion, a monitor.
I
that would
hope
be
he says, "Why
monitoring your
didn't you have
pregnancies, your miscarriages."
the old man do
I
it?"
think the American people believe that certain freedoms.
I swear I try to be neutral,
including
but
the
this lady
freedom
is
to make
like so
decisions
full of
about
shit. I
one's
can't
own
be
body
neutral. Like I can't watch this
should
usually.
not be made by the
bro.
government.
She's just so full of
You
shit.
said,
bro.
you
Vice
said.
President Harris.
There
You
she goes
said-
again. It's a lie. I'm not signing a ban, and there's no reason to sign a ban because we've gotten what everybody wanted. Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar wanted it to be brought back into the states, and the states are voting.
What
And
people
it may
don't
take a
understand
little
is bringing
time,
it back to the
but for
states
52
makes
years,
the
this
most sense
issue
because
has
then
torn
the
our
people who
country
live in that state
apart.
get to
And
vote
they
on it
wanted
whether
it
they
back
what
in
they
the
want to do with
states,
it.
and I
You know
did
what I mean? So it
something
becomes the
that
people's
nobody
choice.
thought was
And the
possible.
government, federal government,
states are now
can't
voting.
mandate any
What
one
she
law on it.
says
Like you know what I
is
mean? It's
an
really up to the
absolute
people
lie.
at that point.
And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Yeah, it has
Would you
nothing to
veto
do with
a
him.
national abortion ban if it
Well,
came
I
to your
won't
desk?
have to because, again, two things. Number one, she said she'll go back to Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote, especially now with the 50-50 and essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not going to get the vote. She can't get the vote. She won't even come close to it. So it's just talk. You know what it reminds me of when they said they're going to get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe. The student loans, and then her, I think probably her boss, if you call him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. But look, her boss went out and said, we'll do it again. We'll do it a different way. And he went out, got rejected again by the Supreme Court. So all these students got taunted with this whole thing about this whole idea. And how unfair that would have been, part of the reason they lost, to the millions and millions of people that had to pay off their student loans. They didn't get it for free. But they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with J.D. In all fairness, J.D., and I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me, but I really didn't. Look, we don't have to discuss it because she'd never be able to get it, just like she couldn't get student loans. They couldn't get student loans. They didn't even come close to getting student loans. They taunted young people and a lot of other people that had loans. They can never get this approved. So it doesn't matter what she says about going to Congress. Well, wonderful. Let's go to Congress, do it. But the fact is that for years they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government, and we did something that everybody said couldn't be done. And now you have a vote of the people on abortion.
Vice President Harris, I want to give you your time to respond, but I do want to ask, would you support any restrictions on a woman's right to an abortion?
I absolutely support reinstating the protections of Roe v. Wade, and as you rightly mentioned, nowhere in America is a woman carrying a pregnancy to term and asking for an abortion. That is not happening. It's insulting to the women of America. And understand what has been happening under Donald Trump's abortion bans. Couples who pray and dream
the
of
dude don't even have
family
abortion bans.
are
This
being
lady's
denied
cooking.
I don't understand.
IVF
He's not.
treatments.
Why are they
What is
still
happening in our
in
country?
play
sent,
at this
listen,
point?
yeah, they sent it back to the
Working
states,
women
so he couldn't even
who
have an
are
abortion ban
working
if he
one or
wanted
two
to,
jobs,
because it's not in the
who
federal
can
government
barely
anymore.
afford
It's state by state.
childcare
You know what I
as
mean?
it is,
It's
have to
retarded.
travel to another state to get on a plane sitting next
Why
to
does she talk like
strangers
to everybody
to
like
go and
second
get
graders?
the health care
Like, you know
she
what I mean?
needs.
You can draw a
Barely
triangle.
can
It's
afford
only
to do
3
it,
lines.
and what you are putting
Start at
her
the top.
through
If you come down to
is
the bottom and go across
unconscionable.
and go back
And
up,
the people
you have
of
a
America
triangle.
have not, the majority of Americans believe in a woman's right to make decisions about her own body, and that is why in every state where this issue has been on the
How come
ballot
people
in red and
couldn't
blue
make decisions
states
about their
both,
own body when
the
they got forced to
people
take that
of
vaccine?
America have voted for freedom.
Oh,
Vice President
Excuse
Harris,
me, I
thank
have
you.
to
What happened to my
respond.
body, my choice
Another
with that?
lie. It's another lie.
And I'm
I
not
have been a
bashing on
leader
abortion
on
stuff.
IVF,
I'm just saying
which is
they're hypocritical in
fertilization.
their
The
approach
IVF,
and stuff. You know,
I have been a leader. In fact, when they got a very negative decision on IVF from the Alabama courts, I saw the people of Alabama and the legislature 2 days later voted it in. I've been a leader on it. They know that, and everybody else knows it. I have been a leader on fertilization, IVF. And the other thing, you should ask, will she
Her
allow
mic's on.
abortion
Her
in the
mic's
8th
on.
month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask her that question?
Why don't you
That's
answer the
problem.
question? Would you
because
veto?
under Roe v.
Answer the
Wade,
question.
Wow,
would you
they-
veto?
you
they-
could
they-
do abortions in
why
the
is her mic
7th
on?
month, the
Yeah,
8th
nah,
month,
'cause they're
the
on
9th
ABC.
month,
Not true.
and probably after birth. Just look at the governor, former governor of Virginia. The governor of Virginia said, we put the baby aside and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
President Trump, thank you.
We're going to turn now to immigration and border security. We know it's an issue that's important to Republicans, Democrats, voters across the board in this country. Vice President Harris, you were tasked by President Biden with getting to the root causes of migration from Central America. We know that illegal border
so you're
crossings
the one.
reached a record high in the Biden administration.
Why is the
This
Adam's
past
apple so
June,
big?
President Biden imposed tough new asylum
I almost
restrictions.
said
We know
something, but
the numbers since then have dropped significantly. But
Some
my
of that
question to
gobble,
you
gobble.
tonight is why did the administration wait until 6 months before the election to act? And would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns.
She's the only person on
my
stage
God.
that put more black people in
And
jail
let
than
me
anybody.
say that the
Exactly.
United States Congress, including some of the most conservative members of the United States Senate, came up with a border security bill, which I
I
supported.
bet you all that's going through her head right now
And
is don't
that bill
laugh.
would have put
Don't laugh.
1,500
For
more
real.
border agents on the border to help those folks who are
Like,
working
shit, what
there
did they
right
tell me
now
to say again?
overtime, trying to do their job. It would have allowed us to stem the flow of fentanyl coming into the United States. I know there are so many families watching tonight who have been personally affected by the surge of fentanyl in our country.
Yo, have you guys
That bill
you know
would
people
have
who got
put
affected
more
by fentanyl?
resources to allow us to prosecute
Yes.
transnational criminal
Now, was
organizations
this during
for
Trump's
trafficking in guns,
administration,
drugs, and
or was
human
this during
beings. But you know what
Biden's
happened
administration?
to that
It
bill?
was during Biden's.
Donald
I never
Trump
even heard
got
of
on the
fucking
phone,
fentanyl.
called
So
up
Biden
some
got it,
folks
you
in
know what I mean?
Congress and said, kill the bill. And you know why?
I mean, it was
Because
around,
he preferred
but
to
it's
run on
more
It wasn't like only-
it's more readily accessible now because it's coming over freely over the border.
At a time where the people
Yeah,
of
I think
our
it was
country
Biden's
actually
administration.
need a leader who engages in solutions, who actually addresses
Under the Biden administration, they
problems at
opened up
hand.
doping
But
centers.
what we have in the former president
They have
is someone
doping
who would
centers
prefer
in
to
South
run on a
Providence right
problem
now
instead of
that
fixing
you
a
can
problem.
go to
And I'll
and
tell you something,
legally
he's gonna
shoot
talk
up
about
heroin
immigration a lot
and
tonight, even when
fentanyl,
it's not the
and
subject
they
that
give
is
you
being
needles
raised.
and shoot
And
up
I'm gonna
kits,
actually
free
do something really
Narcan.
unusual, and I'm going to invite
Stupid.
you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing.
I've been trying to.
You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you.
This lady is
you
so
will
full
not
of
hear him
shit,
talk about
bro.
your needs, your dreams, and your needs.
She's like,
and
at
your
my
desires.
rallies, we bust people in.
And I'll tell you, I believe you deserve a president who actually puts you first.
That's
And I
why when
pledge to you that
shots
I
were
will
getting fired, nobody left.
That's why when I'm voting for your
Everybody
rally,
stayed.
I want to get your
Well, I
response.
would like to respond.
Yeah.
Exactly.
At her rally, all they do is CGI people in, so they don't have to leave.
Exactly.
Agents and officers on the border.
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there.
Facts.
And then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs.
Yo,
the people that
you
came
seen
in,
that?
they're eating
They're
the
eating
cats.
the cats and
They're
dogs,
eating.
bro. And she's
They're
she's
eating the
wild,
pets
bro. And I
of
know
the
that's real
people
because
that live
I know
there.
some guys
And this is what's
that told me, he was
happening
like,
in our
yo, he said,
country,
you know,
and
in my
it's a
country,
shame.
like
As
you guys
far
have
as
cats as pets. He
rallies
was like,
are
in my
concerned,
country, we
as
eat
far
those
as-
cats.
The reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well,
All
I've
this,
seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
The people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
The people are
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying
manager.
their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice
We'll
President
find
Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme.
Here we go.
You know, this is,
All right,
I think, one of the
lay off
reasons
of her,
why
Let's
in
give her a
this
chance.
election, I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with President Bush, Mitt Romney,
Yo,
and
are
John
we sure she don't
McCain,
got a teleprompter?
including the endorsement
Like,
of
if you watch her
former
eyes, it looks
Vice
like she's
President
reading
Dick
some shit.
Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney. And if you want to really know the inside track on who the former president is, if he didn't make it clear already, just ask people who have worked with him. His former chief of staff, a four-star general,
He looks like he
has
wants to
said
just
he
punch
has
her in the
contempt for the
face.
Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit. His former Secretary of Defense has said the nation, the republic, would never survive another Trump term. And when we listen to this kind of rhetoric, when the issues that affect the American people are not being addressed, I think the choice is clear in this election.
President Trump, I'll give you a quick minute to respond here.
Thank you, because when I hear that, see, I'm a different kind of a person. I fired most of those people. Not so graciously. They did bad things or a bad job. I fired them. They never fired one person. They didn't fire anybody having to do with Afghanistan and the Taliban and the 13 people who's were just killed, viciously and violently killed. And I got to know the parents and the family. They didn't fire. They should have fired all those generals, all those top people, because that was one of the most incompetently handled situations anybody has ever seen. So when somebody does a bad job,
And she
I'd
better fix her
fire
face,
him.
'cause this is
And
a
you
bad
take
clip
guy
for her,
like Esper,
looking
he
like
was
that
no
while
good,
he's
I'd
spitting
fire
facts,
him.
you
So
know
he
what I mean?
writes a book. Another one writes a book, because with me they can write books. With nobody else can they. But They have done such a poor job, and they never fire anybody. Look at the economy. Look at the inflation. They didn't fire any of their economists. They have the same people. That's a good way not to have books written about you. But just to finish, I got more votes than any Republican in history by far. In fact, I got more votes than any president, sitting president in history by far.
Let me continue on immigration. It was what you wanted to talk about earlier, so let's get back to your deportation proposal that the vice president has reacted to as well. President Trump, you call this the largest domestic deportation operation in the history of our country. You say you would use the National Guard. You say if things get out of control, you'd have no problem using the U.S. military.
Police, yes.
You also said you would use local police. How would you deport 11 million undocumented immigrants? I know you believe that number is much higher. Take us through this. What does this look like? Will authorities be going door to door in this country?
Yeah, it is much higher because of them. They allowed criminals, many millions of criminals. They allowed terrorists. They allowed common street criminals. They allowed people to come in, drug dealers, to come into our country. And they're now in the United States and told by their countries like Venezuela, don't ever come back or we're going to kill you. Do you know that crime in Venezuela and crime in countries all over the world is way down? You know why? Because they've taken their criminals off the street and they've given them to her to put into our country. And this will be one of the greatest mistakes in history for them to allow. And I think they probably did it because they think they're going to get votes, but it's not worth it because they're destroying the fabric of our country by what they've done. There's never been anything done like this at all. They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in, and all over the world, crime is down all over the world except here. Crime here is up and through the roof. Despite their fraudulent statements that they made, crime in this country is through the roof. And we have a new form of crime. It's called migrant crime. And it's happening at levels that nobody thought possible.
President Trump, as you know, the FBI says overall violent crime is actually coming down in this country. But Vice President Harris,
the FBI they were defrauding statements. They didn't include the worst cities. They didn't include the cities with the worst crime. It was a fraud. Just like their number of 818,000 jobs that they said they created turned out to be a fraud.
President Trump, thank you. I'll let you respond, Vice President Harris.
Well, I think this is so rich. Coming from someone who has been prosecuted for national security crimes, economic crimes, election interference, has been found liable for sexual assault, and his next big court appearance is in November at his own criminal sentencing. And let's be clear where each person stands on the issue of what is important about respect for the rule of law and respect for law enforcement. The former vice president called for defunding federal law enforcement, 45,000 agents, get this, on the day after he was arraigned on 34 felony counts. So let's talk about what is important in this race. It is important that we move forward, that we turn the page on this same old tired rhetoric and address
people really falling
the
for this,
needs
like,
of
around
the
the country?
American
Or
people,
no?
address what we need to do about the
Are there any
housing
Kamala
shortage,
Harris
which
like
I have a
actual
plan
supporters
for.
watching this
Address
right now?
what we
I'm
must
like
do
curious to
support
know
our
if y'all
small
are really
businesses.
buying
address
this
bringing down the
performance.
price
It's
of
all the
groceries.
brainwashed
But
people that are
frankly,
watching
the
it.
American people are
That
exhausted.
don't know
I
any
just
better.
want to know, like, what are they
Same old
seeing
tired
that? Maybe
playbook.
they're seeing something we
Vice President
don't.
Harris, thank
But
you.
from everything I
Excuse me.
see, I mean, this lady
Every
is
one
full
of
of it,
those
bro.
cases
But
was
you know what
started
they've
by
been
them
doing?
against their
They've been
political opponent.
targeting
And I'm
areas
winning most of them, and I will win
of
the rest on appeal.
states that
And we
have
saw that with the
the
decision
low,
that came down
the
just
highest
recently from the
population.
Supreme
How can I
Court.
say it?
I'm winning most of them.
They're looking for the
Those
highest
are
number
cases,
of
it's called
uneducated
weaponization.
people.
Never happened in this country.
So they
They
look for that.
weaponized
How many
the
people
Justice
didn't graduate
Department.
high school?
Every one of those
How many people
cases
didn't?
was
They target
involved
those people
with the
because they know they're not
DOJ
going to
from
know any better.
Atlanta and Fani
So they're going to
Willis
feed them all
to
that
the,
BS,
uh,
and then they're going to be like,
Attorney General of New
you need to
York and
vote
the
for us
DA
if you're
in New
poor.
York.
You
Every
need to
one
vote
of
for
those
us if you
cases.
want welfare.
And
You
then
need to vote
they
for us
say,
if you want this.
he's
And
a
all
criminal.
that does is just
They're the
keep them in the
ones
loop. They don't know any
made
better.
them go after me. By the way, Joe
That shit
Biden
is wild,
was
bro.
found essentially guilty on the documents case. And what happened in my documents case? They said, oh, that's the toughest of them all. A complete and total victory. 2 months ago, it was thrown out. It's weaponization, and they used it, and it's never happened in this country. They used it to try and win an election. They're fake cases.
President Trump, thank you. A really quick response here, Vice President
Why is
Harris,
this
on
mother effer keep trying to cut him off, yo?
Not because they both of those commentators, they hate
and
Trump.
understand
Like
the
they all done
context in
pieces
which
on
this
him.
election in 2024 is taking place. The United States Supreme Court recently ruled
And I hope
that
she
the
gets
former
ridiculed for her
president
mic
would
staying on.
essentially be immune from any misconduct if he were to enter the White House again. Understand, this is someone who has openly said he would terminate, I'm quoting, terminate the Constitution of the United States, that he would weaponize the Department of Justice against his political enemies. Someone who has openly expressed disdain for members of our military. Understand what it would mean if Donald Trump were back.
Yo,
in the
that was
White
on
House
point because I was
with
literally
no
thinking in my head, I was like, yo, I thought this was
guardrails.
going to be
Because
fun, but it's
certainly
kind
we
of
know now that the court
sad.
won't stop
Like,
him. We know
listening to
J.D.
this lady
Vance
is
is
kind
not
of making
gonna
me
stop
depressed.
him. It's up to the
But then you
American
were like,
people.
she brought me back to life.
She looks like she's on an episode of Law and Order. She's just acting, bro.
And this chick got the crazy attitude. They should
She
never pick her.
weaponized. I probably
She's
took
already
a bullet to
steaming,
the
like, you know what I
head
mean? Like, you're supposed to be a
because of
commentator. You're supposed to be
the things
neutral.
that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy with a fake Russia investigation
We do have a lot to
that
get.
went nowhere.
We have a lot to
And they say he's a threat to
Vice
democracy.
President Harris, in your last run for
He's
president,
debating
you said
a
you
woman
wanted to
who got
ban
0
fracking.
votes and is
Now
about to
you
be the
don't.
president.
You wanted
That's a
mandatory
threat to
government buyback
democracy, bro.
programs for assault weapons. Now your
You know what I mean?
campaign
That don't even
says
make
you
sense.
don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to
Let's hear about your child stories. Go ahead.
At least every point that you've made. But
Well,
in
when I
particular,
was
let's
a
talk about
little
fracking
girl-
because we're here in Pennsylvania.
I feel like
made
this
that
was
very
like
clear in 2020.
rehearsed.
I will not ban fracking.
For sure.
I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States. And in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking. My position is
frack?
that we
What
have
the
got
frack,
to
bro?
invest in diverse sources of
trying to
energy
remember.
so
What
we
did they tell me to
reduce
say?
our reliance on foreign oil. We have had the largest increase in domestic oil production in history.
I feel like
Because
she's
of
got
an
an
approach
earpiece
that
in.
recognizes
Something's going
that we
on. 'Cause
cannot
she is pulling this
over-rely
shit
on
right out of
foreign
Because you
oil.
wouldn't be able to tell her ears
As
are
it
covered
relates
by
to
her
my
hair.
values, let me tell you, I grew up a middle-class kid
we
raised
go.
by a hardworking
Bro, nobody
mother
cares, bro.
who worked and saved and was able to buy our first home when I was a teenager.
We grew up eating
Values
ramen
I
and fucking
bring
pizza
to the
rolls. Who gives a
importance of
shit?
homeownership,
Exactly.
Knowing not everybody
And
got
government
handed
cheese.
Yeah, government
$400
cheese,
million
grilled cheese with
on a
government
silver
cheese.
platter and
Going
then
to the
filed
store with food
bankruptcy 6
stamps.
times
Trying to
Right.
hide them
is a
shits.
value that I bring to my work to say we are going to work with the private sector and home builders to increase 3 million homes, increase by 3 million homes by the end
Okay,
of my
Randall.
first term. My work that is
What's up,
related
Joe?
to
With $1 food stamps and buy something for 25 cents
and
and try to get change back.
And my focus then on protecting women and children from violent crime is based on a value that is deeply grounded in the
Wait, is she about to do the
importance
accent?
of standing up for those who are most vulnerable.
I can hear it.
My work
heard it coming.
that is about protecting Social Security and Medicare
Y'all.
is based on long-standing work that I have done.
My brothers
protecting
and my
seniors
sisters.
from scams.
Yo.
My
Joe said I drink from a
values
hose.
have not changed.
Yo, facts,
and what
though.
is important
Big
is
facts,
that there
bro.
is a president
Big
who
facts.
actually brings values and a perspective that is about lifting people up and not beating people down, and name calling. The true measure of the leader
Name
is
calling.
the
She's called him more
leader
names
who
than
actually
anybody
understands
else.
the
Really,
strength
lady?
is not in beating
She just
people
did it on
down,
the
it's
stage,
in
bro.
lifting people
Exactly.
up. I intend to be that president.
President Trump, your
Well, first of all, I wasn't given $400 million. I wish I was. My father was a Brooklyn builder, Brooklyn, Queens, and a great father, and I learned a lot from him. But I was given a fraction of that, a tiny fraction, and I built it into many, many billions of dollars, many, many billions. And when people see it, they are even surprised. So we don't have to talk about that. Fracking, she's been against it for 12 years. Defund the police, she's been against that forever. She gave all that stuff up very wrongly, very horribly, and everybody's laughing at it, okay? They're all laughing at it. She gave up at least 12 and probably 14 or 15 different policies. Like, she was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went out, wait a minute, I'm talking now, if you don't mind, please.
Oh, hit her with her
Does that
own
sound
joint.
familiar?
Yo, my
She
boy,
went out.
let's go. That was fire, bro.
She went out in Minnesota.
Look at her ugly ass face.
Oh my God, yo.
People that burned down Minneapolis. She went out and raised money
like,
to get them out of
he used
jail.
my joint, 'cause
She
he was
did
waiting to
things
use
that
that.
nobody would ever think of. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical
Yo,
left liberal.
that was the
would
wildest
do
statement
this.
I ever heard of.
She wants to confiscate your guns, and she
She
will
wanted
never
to do
allow fracking in Pennsylvania.
transgender
If she won the
surgeries
election,
on illegal
fracking
aliens
in
that are in
Pennsylvania
prison.
will end on day one. Just to finish one
Oh,
thing,
man.
so important in my opinion.
Yo, he murked her with that.
I got the oil business going like nobody has ever done before.
Facts.
When they took over, they got rid of it, started getting rid of it, and the prices were going up the roof. They immediately let these guys go to where they were. I would have been 5 times, 4 times, 5 times higher, because you're talking about 3.5 years ago. They got it up to where I was because they had no choice, because the prices of energy were quadrupling and doubling. You saw what happened to gasoline. So they said, let's go back to Trump. But if she won the election, the day after that election, they'll go back to destroying our country, and oil will be dead, fossil fuel will be dead. We'll go back to windmills, and we'll go back to solar, where they need a whole desert to get some energy to come out of. You ever see a solar plant? By the way, I'm a big fan of solar, but they take 400, 500 acres of desert
President
soil.
Trump, we have a
These
lot
are
of
not good
issues
things
that
for
we
the
have to get
environment,
to.
as
We're
she
out of time.
understands.
Thank you.
Yo,
Lindsay, thank you.
he
We have
murked
an
her by
election
hitting her
in
with
just
that. Excuse
56
me, I'm
days.
talking. Does
And
that
I
sound
want to
familiar?
talk about the peaceful transfer of
'cause he was
power,
waiting
which,
for
of
that
course, we
joint.
all know is a cornerstone of
He
our
got me turned up
democracy
when he
and the
did that,
role
for
of
real.
a president in a moment of crisis. Mr. President, on January 6th, you told your supporters to march to the Capitol. You said you would be right there with them.
I thought they weren't allowed to
the
bring
country
notes
and the
with them.
world saw what played out at the Capitol that day, the officers
Didn't they say that at the
coming under
beginning?
attack. Aides in the West Wing say you watched it unfold on television off the Oval Office. You did send out tweets, but it was more than 2 hours before you sent out that video message telling your supporters to go home. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day?
You just said a thing that isn't covered. Peacefully and patriotically, I said during my speech, not later on. Peacefully and patriotically. And nobody on the other side was killed. Ashley Babbitt was shot by an out-of-control police officer that should have never, ever shot her. It's a disgrace. But we didn't do this group of people that have been treated so badly. I ask, what about all the people that are pouring into our country and killing people that she allowed to pour in? She was the border czar, remember that. She was the border czar. She doesn't want to be called the border czar because she's embarrassed by the border. In fact, she said at the beginning, oh, I'm surprised you're not talking about the border yet. That's because she knows what a bad job they've done. What about those people? When are they going to be prosecuted? When are these people from countries all over the world, not just South America? They're coming in from all over the world, David, all over the world, and crime rates are down all over the world because of it.
But let me just
when are those, David, when are those people going to be prosecuted? When are the people that burned down Minneapolis going to be prosecuted? Or in Seattle, they went into Seattle, they took over a big percentage of the city of Seattle. When are those people going to be prosecuted?
But let me just ask
you. You might ask her that question.
You were the president. You were watching it unfold on television. It's a very simple question as we move forward toward another election. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day? Yes or no?
I had nothing to do with that other than they asked me to make a speech. I showed up for a speech. I said, I think it's going to be big. I went to Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington, D.C., and the mayor put it back in writing, as you know. I said, you know, this is going to be a very big rally or whatever you want to call it. And again, it wasn't done by me. It was done by others. I said, I'd like to give you 10,000 National Guard or soldiers. They rejected me. Nancy Pelosi rejected me. It was just 2 weeks ago. Her daughter has a tape of her saying she is fully responsible for what happened. They want to get rid of that tape. It would have never happened if Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington did their jobs. I wasn't responsible for security. Nancy Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her job.
The question was about you as president, not about former Speaker Pelosi, but I do want Vice President Harris to respond here.
I was at the Capitol on January 6th. I was the vice president-elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there. And on that day, the President of the United States incited a violent mob to attack
let's go, George.
our
Go,
nation's
baby.
capital, to desecrate our nation's capital. On that day, 140 law enforcement officers were injured.
I'll be
and
right
some
back, guys.
died.
Oh, you about to drop
And
that juice,
understand, the
Nah, I gotta get my
former
charger.
president has been
playing.
indicted and impeached for exactly that reason. But this is not an isolated situation. Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying
you can do it
tiki
again.
torches, spewing anti-Semitic
Oh my
hate.
God, she better not even bring this
And what
bullshit up,
did
bro.
the president then at the time say?
Go ahead, say some lying
There
shit.
were fine people on each side.
They were fine people
Let's
on the east
remember
side.
that
Yo, I hate when they
it
bring
came to
that
the
shit up,
Proud
bro.
Boys, a militia.
You know why that's
The
bullshit?
president said, the
He
former
did say that. He
president
said, "Yo,
stand back and
there's
stand
fine people
by."
on both sides, right?"
So for
But if you keep
everyone
playing the tape, he
watching
says,
who
"I'm not
remembers what
talking
January
about
6th
like
was,
white supremacists."
I say,
you know what I mean?
we
He's
don't
talking about
have to go
historians,
back.
people that want to keep the statues
Let's not go
of people
back.
that did
We're
stuff
not
in the
going
past.
back.
You know what I mean?
It's
People
time
that are
to
actual
turn the
historians. They're good
page.
people. They're just historians. They
And
want to
if
keep their
that was a
statues.
bridge too
There's people
far
that want
for
to take
you,
them
well,
down.
there is a
They're
place
offended by it, but they're good
in
people.
our
So
campaign
they've been
for
running
you
this narrative
to
for mad
stand
long.
You
That's why
can't
I stopped
forget where
fucking
we
with
came
them,
from, bro. You
to
can't forget where the
stand for our
foundation is.
democracy,
But it's
to
bullshit for them
stand
to be
for
like, "Yo,
rule
he
of
said there's
law.
good
Like
people on
we had
both
this
sides."
conversation
That's
before.
like bullshit,
Did
bro.
bad shit happen? Yes,
to
but you can't
end
forget how
the
we got to where we
approach
are.
that is
Yeah.
about
You always gotta
attacking
remember
the
so we don't repeat
foundations of our
history.
democracy because you don't like the outcome. And be clear.
It's like
Oh, here we go.
bullshit, bro.
Is the
Donald Trump, the
accent?
candidate, has
Hey, like,
said in this
I
election
seen
there will
somebody
be
in
a
the chat
bloodbath.
wrote victims,
If this
but
and
it's
the
true.
outcome of this
Democrats
election is
always
not
play
to
the
his
victim.
liking,
Yep, facts.
let's
They're
turn
always
the
the
page on
victim.
this.
Oh, sorry.
Let's not
Me and
go
Donnie did it at
back.
the same time.
Let's chart a course for
What's
the
that?
future.
No, I
and
tried to put
not
it up, but
go
Donnie put it up at the
backwards
same
to
time, so it took it
past.
down. But yeah, no,
Let's
that's
follow
facts.
up
Though.
here.
They want to convince you that you're a
It was
victim,
a
bro.
different term, and it was a term
Like, nah, we're
that
not
related
victims,
to
man. We
energy
fucking
because they
Americans,
have
bro.
destroyed
Get off your
our
ass and
energy
make some shit
business.
happen,
That
bro.
was where
That's
bloodbath
it.
was.
Bottom
Also,
line.
on Charlottesville, that story has been, as you would say, debunked.
Facts, bro.
Laura
Come on.
Ingraham,
You
Sean
can't keep talking about
Hannity,
that shit.
Jesse, all of these people, they covered it. If they go an extra sentence, they will see it was perfect.
Exactly.
It was debunked in almost every newspaper, but they still bring it up, just like they bring 2025 up. They bring all of this stuff up. I ask you this. You talk about the Capitol. Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the southern border? How come she's not doing anything? And I'll tell you what I would do, and I would be very proud to do it. I would say we would both leave this debate right now. I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate because we're wasting a lot of time. Go down to, because she's been so bad, it's so ridiculous. Go down to Washington, D.C. and let her sign a bill to close up the border because they have the right to do it. They don't need bills.
Facts.
They have the right to do it. The President of the United States, you'll get him out of bed, you'll wake him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll say, come on down to the office, let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has to do is say it to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed.
Mr.
Those
President,
people are killing many people, unlike J6.
We talked immigration here tonight. I do want to focus on this next issue to both of you because it really brings us this into focus, truth in these times that we're living in. Mr. President, for 3.5 years after you lost the 2020 election, you repeatedly falsely claimed that you won, many times saying you won in a landslide. In the past couple of weeks leading up to this debate, you have said, quote, you lost by a whisker, that you, quote, didn't quite make it, that you came up a little bit short.
I said that?
Are you now acknowledging that you lost in 2020?
No, I don't acknowledge that at all.
But
I
you
said
did
that
say that.
sarcastically.
But
You know
those-
that. It was said, oh, we lost by a whisker. That was said sarcastically. Look, there's so much proof. All you have to do is look at it. And they should have sent it back to the legislatures for approval. I got almost 75 million votes, the most votes any sitting president has ever gotten. I was told if I got 63, which was what I got in 2016, you can't be beaten. The election, people should never be thinking about an election as fraudulent. We need two things. We need walls, and we have to have it. We have to have borders, and we have to have good elections. Our elections are bad. And a lot of these illegal immigrants coming in, they're trying to get them to vote. They can't even speak English. They don't even know what country they're in practically. And these people are trying to get them to vote. And that's why they're allowing them to come into our country.
I did watch all of these pieces of video. I didn't detect the sarcasm, lost by a whisker. We didn't quite make it. And we should just point out here as clarification, and you know this, you and your
They
ally,
should have
60
had at
cases
least
in front of
a
many
little
judges,
bit, like
many
one
of them
person
judges
that's
looked
like
at it
whatever,
and said
another
they
person
They said
that's
we
whatever.
didn't have standing. That's the other thing. They said we didn't have standing, a technicality. Can you imagine a system where a person in an election doesn't have standing? The President of the United States doesn't have standing. That's how we lost. If you look at the facts, and I'd love to have you'll do a special on it, I'll show you Georgia, and I'll show you Wisconsin, and I'll show you Pennsylvania, and I'll show you. We have so many facts and statistics, but you know what? That doesn't matter, because we have to solve the problem that we have right now. That's old news. And the problem that we have right now is we have a nation in decline, and they have put it into decline. We have a nation that is dying, David.
Mr. President, thank you. Vice President Harris, you heard the president there tonight. He said he didn't say that he lost by a whisker. So he still believes he did not lose the election that was won by President Biden and yourself. But I do want to ask you about something that's come up in the last couple of days. This was a post from President Trump about this upcoming election just weeks away. He said, when I win, those people who cheated, and then he lists donors, voters, election officials, he says will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences. One of your campaign's top lawyers responded saying, we won't let Donald Trump intimidate us. We won't let him suppress the vote. Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
Are you coaching her?
Was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world.
I was raised by a strong brown woman.
And world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom worked with you, and they say you're a disgrace. And when you then talk in this way in a presidential debate and deny what over and
military
over again
stands with
are
Trump.
court cases you have lost.
Exactly.
Military,
because you
the police,
did in fact lose
like all the
that election.
The
it leads one to believe
organizations that really
perhaps
hold up
we
America,
do
they
not
all stand
have
with
in
Trump, bro.
the candidate to my right the temperament or the
They just publicly
ability
can't
to
say
not
it
be
because they have to
confused
serve
about
under the
fact.
commander-in-chief.
That's deeply troubling, and the American people deserve better.
But you can catch him slipping by saying it.
Let me just say about world leaders. Viktor Orban, one of the most respected men, they call him a strong man. He's a tough person, smart. Prime Minister of Hungary. They said, why is the whole world blowing up? 3 years ago it wasn't. Why is it blowing up? He said, because you need Trump back as president.
Let's go.
They were afraid of him. China was afraid, and I don't like to use the word afraid.
Let's
but I'm
see
just
her
quoting
go
him.
across the border
China
of North
was
Korea.
afraid of him. North Korea was afraid of him. Look at what's going on with North Korea, by the way. He said Russia was afraid of him.
I just love the fact that he said, why don't she go back to the White House and sign a bill to close the border right now? Anything she says she's going to change, she can change right now.
Build a pipeline going all over Europe and heading into Germany, the biggest pipeline in the world. Look, Viktor Orban said it. He said the most respected, most feared person is Donald Trump. We had no problems when Trump was president, but when this weak, pathetic man that you saw at a debate just a few months ago, that if he weren't in that debate, he'd be running instead of her. She got no votes. He got 14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her. But he got 14 million votes. They threw him out. She got 0 votes. And when she ran, she was the first one to leave because she failed. And now she's running. I don't understand it, but I'm okay with it because
your time is
I think we're going to do very well.
We've got a lot more to get to.
Turning now to the Israel-Hamas
We've got a lot more to get to.
Hostages are still being held, Americans among them. Vice President Harris, in December, you said, quote, Israel has a right to defend itself, but you added, quote, it matters how, saying international humanitarian law must be respected. Israel must do more to protect innocent civilians. You said that 9 months ago. Now an estimated 40,000 Palestinians are dead. Nearly 100 hostages remain. Just last week, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there's not a deal in the making. President Biden has not been able to break through the stalemate. How would you do it?
He doesn't get service on the beach.
Well, let's understand how we got here. On
blame
October
Trump.
7, Hamas, a terrorist organization,
Oh, you look so scared.
slaughtered 1,200 Israelis.
Let me
Many
guess,
of
that
them
happened
young
3 years
people
ago?
who were simply attending a
real.
concert. Women were horribly raped. And so absolutely, I said then, I say now, Israel has a right to defend itself. We would. And how it does so matters. because it is also true far too many
And it's easy when
innocent
you have our money.
Palestinians have been killed.
Yeah, facts.
Children, mothers. What we know is that this war must end. It must end
So stop
immediately.
funding it.
And the way it will
She's
end
like,
is when
children,
a
mothers. What about the
ceasefire
men
deal
that were
and we need
raped
the
too?
hostages out.
Yo, facts.
And so we will continue
Right.
to work around the clock on that.
I'm sure there was some men that were
Work
raped
around
over
the
there.
clock,
Oh, of
also
course, of
understanding
course.
that we must
1,000.
chart a course for a two-state solution. And in that solution, there must be security for the Israeli people and Israel, and in equal measure for the Palestinians. But the one thing I will assure you always,
This lady is
I
not a
will
leader,
always
bro.
give
She's
Israel
mad
the ability
shaky,
to
bro.
defend itself,
Like, she's mad
in particular
shaky,
as it relates
Well,
to,
she's an
as it relates
alcoholic,
to
so
Iran,
Well, that's
and
it.
any
Wait,
threat
wait.
that Iran and its
This war needs
proxies
to end, but we're
pose
going to
to
give them the
Israel.
ability.
But we must have a two-state solution.
Why don't
where
they
we
talk
can
about all the
rebuild
shit that they left in
Gaza,
Afghanistan?
Where the Palestinians
That they're
Yo.
using
have
now
security,
against us.
Yo, for
Exactly. They're having
self-determination, and the
parades with our
dignity they so
military
rightly
equipment.
deserve.
Nah, he about to hit her
President
with
Trump,
that.
how
There's
would
no
you
way he
negotiate
doesn't
with
bring that up.
Netanyahu and also Hamas in order to get the hostages out and prevent the killing of more innocent civilians in Gaza?
If I were president, it would have never started. If I were president, Russia would have never, ever, I know Putin very well, he would have never, and there was no threat of it either, by the way, for 4 years, have gone into Ukraine and killed millions of people.
Gassy,
when you
let's
add it up.
go. Hell
Far
yeah.
worse than people understand what's going on over there. But when
Thank
she
you for joining in,
mentions
man. We
about
appreciate you, bro.
Israel, all of a
Welcome
sudden,
to the stream.
she hates Israel.
Keep the
She
comments
wouldn't
coming. Let's
even
talk about
meet
it.
with Netanyahu when he went to Congress to make a very important speech. She refused to be there because she was at a sorority party of hers. She wanted to go to the sorority
Drinking that
party.
wine.
She hates Israel. If she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now. And I've been pretty good at predictions, and I hope I'm wrong about that one.
Is
She
he the
hates
creator
Israel.
of
At the same time, in her own
Simpsons?
way, she hates the Arab population
I fund
because
Simpsons.
the whole place.
Yo, Mike,
is
let's
gonna
get a
blown
Trump
up.
impersonation.
Arabs, Jewish people.
I haven't done that in a long time.
Israel-
Aw,
Israel
come
will be
on.
gone.
Oh, man, you can do
I
it.
got to
It would
practice.
have never happened.
believe in you.
Iran was broke
It would
under
have
Donald
never
Trump.
happened.
Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off
You know
all
what's
the
funny is I
sanctions that
can't
they
see
had.
it, but I know you have
Iran
your
had
thing.
no money for Hamas or Hezbollah or any
Well,
of the
Donnie, you do a
28
good one too.
different,
Come on.
spheres
I
of
do
terror,
one of the
and they
best.
are
I do,
spheres
I do.
of terror, horrible terror. They had no
Huge.
money. It was a big story, and you know
Huge.
it. You covered it very well, actually. They had
You guys
no
can't see me,
money
or
for
no,
terror.
or
They
Oh
were
yeah,
I
we
know
can
it.
see you. I
You
just
know
couldn't
it.
see your
now
hand
they're
out when
a
you
rich
put it off to the
nation,
side.
And now what they're doing is they're spreading that money around. Look at what's happening with the Houthis and Yemen. Look at what's going on in the
I
Middle
thought he
East.
said the
This would have
Houthis.
never
Yeah,
happened.
with the
I'll
Houthis.
get that settled.
Look
and
what's
fast,
happening with
and I'll
the
get
Houthis.
war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
Vice President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
I believe that. Let's hear some
That's
bullshit.
absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He
Why
knows
can't she
that
talk
he's
without
trying
moving
to,
her
again,
hands?
divide
Because she's so
annoys me.
cold. She's not
distract
natural.
from the
She's not
reality,
real, bro.
which is,
She's
it
like,
is very
they probably
well
like point
known
at him, point at
that
him, point at him.
Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and
Listen,
foreign policy.
you know I do
It is well
speaking.
known
I've been
that he
like
admires
coaching on speaking,
dictators,
training
wants to
on
be a dictator
speaking.
on day
If
one,
you're not,
according to
the first thing they
himself.
teach you is you got to speak with
It
your
is
hands.
well known
You know what I mean?
that he said of Putin
So she's all trained
that
up. It's all
he
trash.
can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un.
Love letters.
And it is absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're so clear. They
Yeah,
can
she exchanged love
manipulate
letters
you
with Montel Williams.
flattery and favors.
For real.
And that is
Willie
why
Brown.
Right?
so many military leaders who you have worked with have told me you are a disgrace.
Facts.
That is why
Big facts,
we
though.
understand that
She's
we
Obama
have
point,
to
too.
have a
She's
president
Obama with
who
a-
is not
Never mind.
consistently weak and wrong on national
almost said something
security,
crazy. Holy
including
moly,
the
guacamole,
importance
chicken
of
moly.
upholding and respecting in highest regard our military.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
They're the ones, and she's the one that caused it, that's weak on national security by allowing every nation last month for the year, 168 different countries sending people into our country. Their crime rates are way down. Putin endorsed her last week.
My boy said
I
crime
hope
rates.
she wins, and I think he meant it. because what he's gotten away with is absolutely incredible. It wouldn't have happened with me. The leaders of other countries think that they're weak and incompetent, and they are. They're grossly incompetent. And I just ask one question. Why does Biden go in and kill the Keystone Pipeline and approve the single biggest deal that Russia's ever made, Nord Stream 2, the biggest pipeline anywhere in the world going to Germany and all over Europe? Because they're weak and they're ineffective. And Biden, by the way, gets paid a lot of money.
Thank you.
Facts.
Facts. They're like, President Trump, we're going to cut you off right now.
ABC News presidential debate from the National Constitution Center right here.
Is this the first break? I'll be right back 1 sec.
Yo, she's too salty, bro. I don't like that chick.
Facts.
The one that's the interviewing.
ABC News
Nah, she's too
presidential
salty,
debate
bro.
will continue after this.
Well, that's why she's there. She has a
I know,
hatred for
I
Trump.
I get it, but she's way too, like, you can see it way too much, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she way too salty. I feel like if you was next to her, she smell like salt and vinegar chips.
Imagine if it came back on and friggin' Kamala had a black eye.
Oh, what is going on? Is this this is the bathroom break? Well, whatever. This is a good time for us to commentate. So what I'm gonna do is, while this is going, I'm gonna do that. So what are you guys thinking so far, man? I know I've been talking trash. We've been talking trash.
Well, Donnie took a break.
Crazy.
He's not here.
Yeah, he went to drop a juice. But I'm saying, Mike, what are you thinking from what you're seeing so far, man? We got like a minute to kind of.
I think she's absolutely delusional.
Yeah.
She lives in a fantasy world, and it's just not what she's saying. Nothing's accurate. Nothing's true. She's saying what she thinks that people want to hear.
But you know what's crazy? There's a bunch of people that want to hear that. Like, there's a bunch of people that believe it. Like, they're listening to her and they're like, yeah. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But just
it's
like
crazy.
I said, it's the people that are not educated on the Democratic and Republican parties. They're just. It's like we've talked about a generational curse. Being a Democrat is a generational curse.
Yeah.
It gets passed down and passed down. It's just. I watched this thing right on YouTube the other day where this guy was going and interviewing people.
Yep.
And he was like, "What's your favorite policy that Harris has, put out there?" Nobody can answer it. Why are you voting for her? Nobody can answer it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't know why. One person said because she's a lesbian, she's voting for her. One person said because he was gay. One person said because he was black. One person said because he was poor. That's no reason to vote for her.
Yeah. The other guy said he lost his nuts and hasn't found them yet.
Damn, Donnie, that was the quickest deuce ever, bro.
Did you wash your hands, you nasty bastard?
That wasn't a deuce, bro.
Hey, you took a ghost poop. That's when you poop and you don't got to wipe.
Oh shit! Like you wipe, there's not under tissue. Like what the fuck is that?
It's a ghost poop.
I never heard that. A ghost poop. Why do I feel like Kamala Harris is a ghost poop?
What's up with you guys in the weird shit, bro? You started the farting on the inside and he's saying ghost poop.
Yo, for real. Nah, farting on the inside the real thing though.
I already posted that.
Oh.
Yeah, they're just trying to use. They're trying to discredit Trump. That's all they're trying to do.
They're what's the word? They're counting on people's ignorance. Like people who hear like, oh, Trump's racist, and then they're like, he's a racist. Like, come on, bruh.
But they're trying to bait him though. They're trying to do anything that they can do to get him to fall so that way he acts stupid, and he's not gonna.
Nah, he's just spitting facts. Everything they're saying, he's just spitting facts. Like straight up, like facts.
Like he's a criminal. He's a felon. He's just he hasn't been convicted of anything, really.
Exactly. Like, yo, think about this, Mike. If you had 92 indictments, you think you're gonna be walking around the street?
Exactly.
They're gonna get you know what I mean, Donnie. If you had 92 indictments, are you doing a presidential debate? Hell no.
So when I was a little girl, back in the day, I thought we were asking questions because I was just going.
Listen, me and Mike, we grew up poor. We used to have to share ice cream cones, and my mom was a little bit browner than my neighbor.
Like out of nowhere.
My mom used to have to walk 52 blocks to get to work
in the snow.
I
don't want to hear that shit. I used to grow up.
Hey, my mom used to make so much collard greens. She used to have to do it in the tub.
Yeah, facts. President Harris, what do you think about inflation? Well, let me start here. When I was 6 years old, my mom braided my hair a little too tight. And when I went to school, them kids. Like,
you know how hot it was for a little brown girl like me.
For real.
Oh my God. I think she's Indian and her father's Jamaican.
Yeah, her dad's.
Supposedly he's Jamaican.
Yep. But even if he is, like, not even separating Jamaicans from what's going on, like, in the country, nothing like that. You know what I mean? But Jamaican and African American are two different things. Like, you know what I mean? And they're trying to, like, pump up the African American community. Like, she's an African American. She's not in any way, shape, form, or form.
She never ever
at all.
It's back on. Okay. But she never portrayed to be black until this election. She always identified as an Indian.
Mr. President, it has been the position of the Biden administration that we must defend Ukraine from Russia, from Vladimir Putin, to defend their sovereignty, their democracy, that it's in America's best interest to do so, arguing that if Putin wins, he may be emboldened to move even further into other countries. You have said you would solve this war in 24 hours. You said so just before the break tonight.
Hunter
How
Biden?
Exactly would you do that? And I want to ask you a very simple question.
The Bidens don't matter anymore because she's out.
To win this war.
That's just all going to get going away.
I want to save lives that are being uselessly, people being killed by the millions. It's the millions. It's so much worse than the numbers that you're getting, which are fake numbers. Look, we're in for 250 billion or more.
Jesus.
Because they don't ask Europe, which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing done than we are. They're in for $150 billion less because Biden and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars when I said, either you pay up or we're not going to protect you anymore. So that's maybe one of the reasons they don't like me as much as they like weak people. But you take a look at what's happening. We're in for 250 to 275 billion. They're into 100 to 150. They should be forced to equalize. With that being said, I want to get the war settled. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin, hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try and get it. That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other, I'll get them together. That war would have never happened. And in fact, when I saw Putin after I left, unfortunately left because our country has gone to hell. But after I left, when I saw him building up soldiers, he did it after I left, I said, oh, he must be negotiating. It must be a good, strong point of negotiation. Well, it wasn't, because Biden had no idea how to talk to him. He had no idea how to stop it. And now you have millions of people dead, and it's only getting worse, and it could lead to World War III. Don't kid yourself, David. We're playing with World War III, and we have a president that we don't even know if he's... Where is our president? We don't even know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
they
here...
threw him out of the campaign like a dog. We don't even know. Is he our president? But we have a president,
Mr. President,
that doesn't know he's alive.
Your time is up. Just to clarify the question...
Where is our president?
He said, we have a president. They threw him out like a dog.
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished and just get it done.
Get it over with, bro.
Negotiate a deal, because we have to stop all of these human lives from being destroyed.
I want to take this to Vice President Harris. I want to get your thoughts on support for Ukraine in this moment, but also as Commander-in-Chief, if elected, how would you deal with Vladimir Putin, and would it be any different from what we're seeing from President Biden?
Well, first of all, it's important to remind the former president, you're not running against Joe Biden, you're running against me. I believe the reason that Donald Trump says that this war would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up. And that's not who we are as Americans. Let's understand what happened.
Just like she gave it up to get to the White House.
Met with Zelensky a few days before Russia invaded, tried through force to change territorial boundaries, to defy one of the most important international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity.
She's like, everyone stands behind me. You mean they stood behind you?
American intelligence about how he could defend himself.
Don't go off the cliff.
Days later, I went to NATO's eastern flank to Poland and Romania.
You already got roasted on
through
Facebook
the
because
work
of that.
that
Sorry.
I and others
Oh, yeah.
did, we
I
brought
forgot
50
about that.
countries together to support Ukraine in its righteous defense. And because of our support, because of the air defense, the ammunition, the artillery, the javelins, the Abrams tanks that we have provided, Ukraine stands as an independent and free country. If
Body
Donald
language,
Trump
she
were
don't believe her
president,
shit, what she's
Putin
saying.
would be sitting in Kyiv right now.
That's what she said.
Understand what that would mean, because
She's like,
Putin's agenda
what am I
is
doing?
not just
What am I
about
doing?
Ukraine.
How am I gonna handle this?
Understand why the European allies and our NATO allies are so thankful that you are
she
no longer
on the break she went and took a sip out of a
and
friggin'
that
vodka
we
bottle.
understand the importance of the greatest military alliance the world has ever known, which is NATO, and what we have done to preserve the
And what we
ability
have
of
done.
Zelensky and the Ukrainians to fight for their independence. Otherwise, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv with his eyes on the rest of Europe, starting with Poland. And why don't you tell the 800,000 Polish Americans right here in Pennsylvania how quickly you would give up for the sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
Wrong.
Vice President Harris, thank you. We've heard from both of you on Ukraine tonight. Afghanistan came up in the last hour. I wanted her to respond to something you said earlier, and please, I'll give you a minute here.
Putin would be sitting in Moscow, and he wouldn't have lost 300,000 men and women, but he would have been sitting in Moscow. Quiet, please.
Oh, shut up.
He would have been sitting in Moscow, much happier than he is right now. But eventually, he's got a thing that other people don't have. He's got nuclear
I hope
weapons.
he's like,
They don't
shut
have to talk
your
about
mouth.
that. He's got nuclear weapons. Nobody ever thinks about that. And
China.
eventually,
China.
maybe he'll use them, and maybe he hasn't been that threatening, but he does have that. Something we don't even like to talk about. Nobody likes to talk about it. But just so you understand, they sent her to negotiate peace before this war started. 3 days later, he went in and he started the war because everything they said was weak and stupid. They said the wrong things. That war should have never started. She was the emissary. They sent her in to negotiate with Zelensky and Putin, and she did. And the war started 3 days later. And that's the kind of talent we have with her. She's worse than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the worst president in the history of our country. She goes down as the worst vice president in the history of our country. But let me tell you something. She is a horrible negotiator. They sent her in to negotiate. As soon as they left, Putin did the invasion.
President Trump, thank you. You did bring up something. You said she went to negotiate with Vladimir Putin. Vice President Harris, have you ever met Vladimir Putin? Can you clarify tonight?
Yet again, I said it at the beginning of this debate, you're going to hear a bunch of lies coming from this fellow. And that is another one. When I went to meet with President Zelensky, I've now met with him over 5 times. The reality is it has been about standing as America always should, as a leader upholding international rules and norms, as a leader who shows strength, understanding that the alliances we have around the world are dependent on our ability to look out for our friends.
I love that button.
And not favor our enemies because you adore strongmen instead of caring about democracy. And that is very
How can
much
she
what
even
is at
say the
stake
word
here.
democracy?
The president
She's
of the
running
United
for
States
president
is
and didn't get
commander-in-chief.
one vote.
And
That's
the
the total
American
opposite of
people
democracy.
have a right
like
to
you should not
rely
even be able to say that
on
word
a
out your mouth.
president
Like that's crazy,
who
bro.
understands the significance of America's role and responsibility in terms of ensuring that there is
She only says that because she
and
thinks it
ensuring
sounds
we
good.
stand
Well, no,
up
because a
for
lot
our
of people are dumb
principles
enough
and
to fall
not
for that.
sell
Yeah,
them
that's right.
Exactly.
For the
But they don't
benefit
understand what
of
democracy is.
personal flattery.
Exactly.
We talked about Ukraine and Vladimir Putin. I do want to talk about Afghanistan. It came up in the first hour of this debate. I wanted to move on to Afghanistan.
Stoltenberg said Trump did the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He got these countries, the 28 countries at the time, to pay up. He said, I've never seen. He's the head of NATO. He said, I've never seen. For years, we were paying almost all of NATO. We were being ripped off by European nations, both on trade and on NATO. I got them to pay up by saying one of the statements you made before, if you don't pay, we're not going to protect you.
President
Otherwise,
Trump.
we would have never gotten it. He said it was one of the most incredible jobs that he's ever seen done.
Thank you. I want to turn to Afghanistan. It came up in the first hour of the debate, and we witnessed a poignant moment today on Capitol Hill, honoring the soldiers who died in the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan. I do want to ask the Vice President, do you believe you bear any responsibility in the way that withdrawal played out?
Oh, God, let's hear
Well,
it.
I will tell you, I agreed with President Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. 4 presidents said they would, and Joe Biden did. And as a result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war. And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world, the first time this century. But let's understand how we got to where we are. Donald Trump, when he was president, negotiated one of the weakest deals you can imagine. He calls himself a deal maker. Even his national security advisor said it was a weak, terrible deal. And here's how it went down. He bypassed the Afghan government. He negotiated directly with a terrorist organization called the Taliban. The negotiation involved the Taliban getting 5,000 Taliban terrorists released. And get this, and the president at the time invited the Taliban to Camp David.
What?
A place
You
of
serious?
storied significance for us as Americans. A place
then
where we honor
you
the importance
gave
of
him all of
American
our equipment.
diplomacy, where we
Hey, guys,
invite and
when's the last time you guys
receive
heard about the Taliban?
respected world leaders.
You haven't.
And this
They're gone,
former
bro.
president,
They're still out
as
there, but I'm just saying
president,
they're not
invited them
an issue for us
to
anymore.
Camp
Like
I gotta
David
show you something. I gotta
because
show you
he
something.
does not again appreciate the role and responsibility
yo,
of the President of the United States
that's the
to
real
be
Don, yo. That's the
commander-in-chief.
real,
The
yo.
level of respect.
That is the real,
And this
bro.
gets back
I love
to
it.
the point of how he has consistently disparaged and demeaned
That is
members of
real.
our military, fallen
Oh, God, here
soldiers,
she goes with the fake,
and the work
fake
that we
fucking
must
news,
do
bro.
to uphold
He
the
called them
strength
suckers and
and the
losers.
respect of the United States of America around the world.
Vice President Harris, thank you. President Trump, your
If you
response to
want
her saying
respect,
that
you
began the
need to
negotiations
earn
with the
it.
Taliban.
So, if you take a look at that period of time, the Taliban was
Hey,
killing
we should just talk
our
when she's
soldiers,
talking and
a
let
lot of them,
Trump talk.
with snipers. And
That's
I
what
got
I've been doing
involved
secretly.
with the Taliban because the Taliban
Hold
was
on, I
doing
got
the
you on
killing.
this one.
That's
Hold
the
on.
fighting force within Afghanistan. They don't bother doing that because, you know, they deal with the wrong people all the time. But I got involved. And Abdul is the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban. And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems. And he said, why do you send me a picture of my house? I said, you're going to have to figure that out, Abdul. And for 18 months, we had nobody killed. We did have an agreement negotiated by Mike Pompeo. It was a very good agreement. The reason it was good, it was we were getting out. We would have been out faster than them, but we wouldn't have lost the soldiers. We wouldn't have left many Americans behind, and we wouldn't have left $85 billion worth of brand new, beautiful military equipment behind.
I'm
And
so
just to
glad he's
finish,
saying that.
Yo,
they
facts. Come on.
blew it.
What's you gonna say about
The
that?
agreement said you
Let's hear
have to
some
do
bullshit.
this,
We didn't leave
this,
that. Actually,
and they
Trump
didn't
did.
do it. They didn't do it. The agreement was terminated by us because they didn't do what they were
man.
supposed to do.
I wanna move on.
And these people did the worst withdrawal.
I wanna
and
move on.
In my
Did you
opinion,
hear
the
him?
most
Every time he's
embarrassing
spitting
moment in
facts,
the
they
history
just
of
wanna
our
move
country.
on, you know what I
And
mean?
by the way, that's why Russia attacked Ukraine, because they saw how incompetent she and her boss are.
President
Look
Trump,
at
thank
her.
you.
Come on, fam.
I want to move on.
I
now
don't want to
race and
roast her. I'm not going to
politics
roast her
in
because I'm
this country. Mr.
a
President, you
respectable
recently
man.
said of
But
Vice
I'm
President
roasting the hell
Harris,
out of her
quote,
on the
I
inside.
didn't
Just
know
so you
she
know.
was black until a number of years ago.
It's
when she
real
happened to
facts. I
turn
didn't know she was black either.
And now she wants to
Exactly.
be known as black. I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight.
Go ahead.
Why do you
Stop
believe
it.
it's appropriate to
Yo,
weigh in on
this
the
thing-
racial
This dude got a
identity
butt
of
plug
your
in, yo.
opponent?
He,
I don't.
he,
And
I
I
feel
don't
like he's
care.
down there with a butt
I
plug.
don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a
Exactly.
big
Nobody
deal out of
cares,
something.
bro.
I couldn't care less.
For real, nobody
Whatever
cares,
she wants
dog.
to be is okay with me.
Exactly.
But those were your words, so I'm
I don't
asking.
know.
It don't
I
matter.
know. I mean,
Doesn't
all I can
matter,
say
bro.
is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her.
And that's okay.
That's up to her.
Donnie,
Vice
are you
President
black?
Harris, your thoughts on this?
You can be.
think
That's
it's-
okay with me. I don't
I
care.
mean, honestly, I think
Doesn't
it's
really matter.
a tragedy that we have
Wrong.
someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career,
Guys, say some dumb shit.
attempted to use race to divide the American people.
That's
Wow.
you,
China. That's you.
That's you, bro. Did you see her face when she said that?
And we don't want
her face said like,
this
"Oh
kind
shit,
of
I'm gonna
approach that
say
is just
something against him. That's
constantly
totally
trying
me."
to divide us, and especially by
That's
race.
you.
I hope he hits it with like, yo, you put more
How
black
Donald
people in
Trump
jail than
started. He was
anybody.
Yo, and all they do is talk about race. That's all the
land,
all the
he
Democrats
owned
talk about
land,
is
he
race,
owned
bro.
buildings.
Yo, look at her face.
Nobody gives a fuck, bro.
He was investigated because he refused to rent property to black
say
families.
some dumb shit.
Let's remember, this is the same individual who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5.
Yo, shout out to Kamala
Took out a
Harris because she
full-page
knows
ad
what the dum-dums are
calling
gonna
for
eat
their
up.
execution.
You know what I mean?
This is the
She
same
knows.
individual
She knows.
who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States. And I think the American people want better than that.
There's a little snake in the grass.
Well, you ain't it.
Someone who understands as I do, I travel our country.
Maybe we want
see
better,
in
but you
each
ain't it,
other
lady.
A friend. We see in each other a neighbor.
Oh,
We
please.
don't want a leader who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. I meet with people all the time who tell me, can we please just have discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people? Knowing that regardless of people's color or the language their grandmother speaks, we all have the same dreams and aspirations and want a president who invests in those, not in hate and division.
Yo, how come her time's longer than his?
Yo, that's what I'm saying. How come they didn't cut her off? They didn't cut her off.
This is the most divisive presidency
Facts, bro. Like
in the history of our country.
big facts,
There's
man.
never been anything like it. They're destroying our country, and they come up with things like what she just said. Going back many, many years, when a lot of people, including Mayor Bloomberg, agreed with me on the Central Park 5, they admitted, they said, they pled guilty. And I said, well, if they pled guilty, they badly hurt a person, killed a person ultimately. And if they pled guilty, then they pled, we're not guilty. But this is a person that has to stretch back years, 40, 50 years ago, because there's nothing now. I built one of the greatest economies in the history of the world, and I'm going to build it again. It's going to be bigger, better, and stronger. But they're destroying our economy. They have no idea what a good economy is. Their oil policies, every single policy. And remember this, she is Biden. You know, she's trying to get away from Biden. I don't know the gentleman, she says. She is Biden. The worst inflation we've ever had, a horrible economy because inflation has made it so bad, and she can't get away with that.
Thank you. Your time is up,
I
Lindsay.
want to respond to that, though. I want to just respond briefly.
His time's always up.
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am
my
certainly
God, bro.
not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a
You
new
don't
generation
have that
of
much
leadership
money.
for our country. One who believes in what is possible, one who brings a sense of
Come on,
optimism
tap into your like
about what we can do
Martin Luther
instead
King
of always
vibes.
disparaging
Right?
the American people.
What we believe.
I believe
come
in
on,
what
man.
we can do to strengthen our small
Look at her
businesses,
face, bro.
which is
She's
why
so full
I
of
have a
shit.
plan. Let's
Like,
talk
how do you not
about
see
our
that?
plans and let's compare the plans. I have a plan.
What the fuck is your plan,
to
bro?
give
Like,
startup businesses
no, here she comes with the I have a dream.
tax deduction.
like yo,
I have a
it's-
plan.
Pursue
Have you heard?
their
No, we ain't
ambitions,
seen
their
no policies,
innovation,
no
their
plans, no
ideas,
nothing.
their
She's
hard
full of
work.
shit,
I
bro.
have
Right?
a plan, $6,000
Oh, my
for
God.
young
You
families
believe it?
for the first year of your child's life.
Thank you.
To help you in that most critical stage of your child's development. I have a plan.
Where does that money
is
coming from?
about
Exactly.
allowing people to be able to pursue what
Coming
has
from
been
us, bro.
fleeting in terms of the
Exactly.
American dream by offering a help with down payment
She
of
don't even know what she's saying, bro.
$25,000
Look at her.
down payment assistance for first-time home buyers.
Where's that money coming from?
That's the kind of
Coming from us.
conversation I believe, David.
Yes,
that
sir.
people really
And what
want
that's gonna
tonight,
do is, yeah.
as
Hey,
opposed
Donnie,
to
you
a
want to buy a house,
conversation that
right?
is
We're gonna give you
constantly about
$25,000 to buy this house that
and
you actually can't afford.
name-calling.
And then once you
Let's
can't afford it, we're
turn
gonna
the
actually take that back
page
from you.
and move
And then once we
forward.
take it back from you,
President
someone
Trump
with
has
actual
to
money
move
is gonna
on.
buy your
President Trump-
property. And what's eventually gonna happen is that
to defund the police.
The real estate is going to become a monopoly of the wealthy, and all the average people will not be able to afford housing. Everyone's going to have to live in apartments
or anywhere else. Okay, that's what her plan is until just recently.
I just need to respond because the former president has said something twice that I need to respond to.
I'm sorry, we're going to move on.
No, you can't respond. That's the rule.
President Trump, this is now your third time running for president. You have long vowed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act.
This is third
also
time?
known as Obamacare. You have failed to accomplish that.
The first time that he won, the second time he lost is the third one.
Quote, unless we can do something much better. Last month you said, quote, we're working on it.
So
all right,
tonight,
you know 9
years
after you
re-up. I was thinking
running,
before
do you have a
when he was
plan,
president. I
and
was
can
like,
you
wait.
tell us what it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care. Always was. It's not very good today. And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things, we're going to do it and we're going to replace it. But remember this. I inherited Obamacare because Democrats wouldn't change it. They wouldn't vote for it. They were unanimous. They wouldn't vote to change it. If they would have done that, we would have had a much better plan than Obamacare. But the Democrats came up. They wouldn't vote for it.
To your plans?
I had a choice to make when I was president. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, never going to be great, or do I let it rot? And I felt I had an obligation, even though politically it would have been good to just let it rot and let it go away. I decided, and I told my people, the top people, and they're very good people. I have a lot of good people in that administration. We read about the bad ones. We had some real bad ones, too, and so do they. They have really bad ones. The difference is they don't get rid of them. But let me just explain. I had a choice to make. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, or do I let it rot? And I saved it. I did the right thing. But it's still never going to be great, and it's too expensive for people. And what we will do is we're looking at different plans. If we can come up with a plan that's going to cost our people, our population, less money and be better health care than Obamacare, then I would absolutely do it. But until then, I'd run it as good as it can be run.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan.
Yo,
I'm not
go take off your shoulder pads, bro.
But if we come up with something, I would only change it if we come up with something that's better and less expensive. And there are concepts and options we have to do that.
I'm just tagging people that's
and you'll
watching
be
this
hearing
shit
about
on
it in the
Facebook
not too
so they can
distant
come
future.
kick it with us.
Vice President Harris, in
Wait,
2017,
why is she looking at him and
Sanders'
disgust about
proposal
his
to
not
do
having
away
a
with
plan?
private
What's her
insurance
fucking
and create a
plan?
Exactly, yo.
government-run healthcare
I'm
system.
telling you, these shoulder
2
pads
years
is
later,
wild
you
out
proposed
here
a
in the
plan that
streets.
included a private insurance option. What is your plan today?
Well, first of all, I absolutely support, and over the last 4 years as vice president, private health care options. But what we need to do is maintain and grow the Affordable Care Act. But I'll get to that, Lindsay. I just need to respond to a previous
let me
point
say some bullshit
that
first.
the former president has made. I've made very clear my position on fracking, and then this business
have
about
not, back
taking
to that?
everyone's guns away. Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff. As it relates to the Affordable Care Act, understand.
Yo, she about to pull your
just
gat
look at
out,
the
bro.
history to know
Facts,
where
you wanna
people
pull out a
stand.
tampon.
When
Tampon
Donald Trump
Tim?
was president, 60 times he tried to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. 60 times. I was a senator at the time.
Oh my
when
God.
I will never forget the early morning hours.
Well, you should.
Here we go.
It was
Hold on.
up
Here
for
comes
a
the
vote
story.
in the United States Senate.
Some
And
old
the
lady
late,
walked
great
in.
John McCain,
Oh,
who you have disparaged.
Oh, she brought out the McCain.
As
Yeah,
being
she brought McCain back.
You don't like him, you said at the time, because he got
Why
caught.
is she bringing
He was
shit
an
up from like
American
50
hero.
fucking
The
years
late,
ago?
great John
'Cause she
McCain,
got no
I will
legs to
never
stand
forget
on, bro.
that night. Walked onto the Senate floor and said, "No, you don't.
No, you
no,
don't.
you don't. No, you don't get rid of the Affordable Care Act. You have no plan." And what the Affordable Care Act has done is eliminate the ability of insurance companies to deny people with
She sits on a
pre-existing
throne of
conditions.
lies.
I don't have to tell the
Yo, big facts. Yo, that is so
Remember when
real
an
though.
insurance company could deny if a child had asthma?
She's not talking about
if
the
someone
fact that
was a
she want to
breast
get rid
cancer
of private
survivor,
like
if a
healthcare. Like if
grandparent
I got
had
good insurance through my
diabetes.
job, she want to do
And
away with it
thankfully,
and have
as
everybody
I've been
on
vice
this government
president,
plan.
and we,
Like,
over
come
the
on,
last
bro.
4 years,
Get
have
outta here.
strengthened the Affordable Care Act.
She knows how
We
to
have allowed
use
for the first time
diversion.
Medicare to negotiate drug
She knows how to
prices
use that.
on behalf of
She's not
you,
answering the
American
question.
people.
Exactly.
She's
Donald
talking
Trump
about
said he was gonna
talking
allow
about a
Medicare
bunch
to
of
negotiate
garbage.
But you know what's
drug
crazy? I'm
prices.
on
He never
Facebook
did. We
now.
did. And now we
And
have
I
capped
see
the cost
a bunch of
insulin
people-
at $35 a month. Since I've
I
been
see
vice
different-
president,
I'm watching,
we have
like, other
capped the
people's
cost of
reactions.
prescription medication for seniors at $2,000
It's
a year.
crazy.
And when I am
Everybody
president,
I'm gonna
who's
start.
watching.
we
I'm
will
gonna
do
start a
that for
poll
all
on
people,
Facebook for
understanding that the value I bring to this
Harris or
is
Trump,
that
and see who
access to
they
health care
how it
should be
goes.
a right, And not just
I'm just
a privilege
tagging people
of
that
those
I
who
see
can
that's watching
afford
it right now.
And
I'm gonna tag them
the
in my
plan
shit.
has to be to strengthen the Affordable Care Act, not get rid of it.
Vice
Just as
President
prologue
Harris,
in
thank
terms
you.
of where Donald Trump stands on that.
I want to move to an issue that's important for a
She
lot
made
of
a mistake. Number one, John McCain fought Obamacare for 10 years. But it wasn't only him. It were all of the Democrats that kept it going. And you know what?
Yo, facts. He said,
We
answer
can
the
do much
question, you
better
damn
than
chupacabra.
Obamacare. Much less money. But she won't improve
I'm gonna tag him in
insurance for
too.
people. Private medical insurance. That's another thing she doesn't want to get.
President
People
Trump.
are paying privately
Yeah, go ahead,
for
cut him
insurance
off with your dumb ass.
that have worked hard and made money, and they want to have private. She wants everybody to be on government insurance where you wait 6 months for an operation that you need immediately.
President Trump, thank you. We have another issue that we'd like to get to that's important for a number of Americans, in particular younger voters, and that's climate change. President Trump, with regard to the
They're gonna get
environment, you
kicked.
say that
They're
we
gonna
need to
get
have clean air
kicked.
and clean
TikTok's
water.
gonna kick us
Vice
off, bro.
President Harris, you call climate change an existential
We got kicked off at TikTok.
threat.
We're talking about
the
climate
question
change.
to you both tonight
Wow.
is, what would you do to fight climate change? And Vice President Harris, we'll start with you. 1 minute for you each.
Well, the former president had said that climate change is a hoax. And what we know is that it is very real. You ask anyone who lives in a state who has experienced these extreme weather occurrences, who now is either being denied home insurance or it's being jacked up. You ask anybody who has been the victim of what that means in terms of losing their home, having nowhere to go. We know that we can actually deal with this issue. The young people of America care deeply about this issue. And I am proud that as vice president over the last 4 years, we have invested $1 trillion in a clean energy economy, while we have also increased domestic gas production to historic levels. We have created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs while I have been
1,000.
vice
That was
president.
fire.
We have invested in clean energy to the point that we are opening up factories around the world. Donald Trump said he was going to create
Yeah, not in
manufacturing
America,
jobs. He lost manufacturing jobs. And I'm also proud to have the endorsement of the United Auto Workers and Sean Fain, who also know that part of building a clean energy economy includes investing in American-made products, American automobiles. It includes growing what we can do around American manufacturing and opening up auto plants, not closing them like happened under Donald Trump.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
That didn't happen under Donald Trump.
I
Let
keep
me
feeling
just tell
like,
you, they lost
the accent's gonna
10,000
come out, but it doesn't
manufacturing
come out.
jobs this
Right.
last month. It's going, they're all leaving. They're building big auto plants in Mexico, in many cases owned by China. They're building these massive plants, and they think they're going to sell their cars into the United States because of these people. What they have given to China is unbelievable. But we're not going to let that. We'll put tariffs on those cars so they can't come into our country, because they will kill the United Auto Workers and any auto worker, whether it's in Detroit or South Carolina or any other place. What they've done to business and manufacturing in this country is horrible. We have nothing because they refuse. You know, Biden doesn't go after people because supposedly China paid him millions of dollars. He's afraid to do it. Between him and his son, they get all this money from Ukraine. They get all this money from all of these different countries. And then you wonder, why is he so loyal to this one, that one, Ukraine, China? Why is he? Why did he get $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? Why did she pay him $3.5 million? This is a crooked administration, and they're selling our country down the tubes.
President Trump, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with closing statements from both of our candidates
All right,
in the
closing
historic
statements,
night,
man.
this ABC News presidential debate from Philadelphia. Back in a moment.
I feel like them shoulder pads got to be metal.
Yo, she got a straight football outfit on under there, like straight shoulder pads.
Yo, facts. I feel like she's gonna tackle somebody at any minute.
So what are we thinking so far?
It's ludicrous.
Man. Yeah, just it's ridiculous, bro. And it's more ridiculous because I ventured off to like go to Facebook world to kind of see what people are talking about. A lot of people, you know, I would say are hip to what the hell's going on, but there's a lot of people who are really drinking the Kool-Aid with this lady Kamala Harris, bro. Like people like really drinking the Kool-Aid, like yeah, you know, Trump this and da 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 da, and like Kamala did that. I'm just like, really though? It's so weird. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it. But everybody's different. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everybody's different. And I respect that. Everybody has the right. Listen, if you truly, here's my stance on it, right? If you do the research, and after doing your research, you say, you know what? I stand with this person. I respect that 100%. I'll never put you down for that. You know what I mean? My concern is that people aren't doing the research and they're being okey doked to follow this lady right off of the damn cliff. Like, you know what I mean?
But people aren't doing the research right, though, because they believe everything that they see on Google. But people don't understand that Google is censored.
Exactly.
And they only show what they want to show. Mm-hmm. So, like, I use another app on my phone to search things because it's not censored. And it's called GoGo. Hold on.
GoGoGirls.com?
No, it's called DuckDuckGo.
Excuse me?
DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, that sounds pretty scary.
And it's a search engine, but when you search on there, it shows everything. It doesn't show the censored shit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you say you type in like what's hidden in Niagara Falls, it'll bring up every document that's listed about actual events that people have claimed to see things in Niagara Falls or this or that. Mm-hmm. You go on Google and it's like, that's not true. Or there's like 18 articles before you get to the truth.
They're like deciding for you what's real,
exactly.
What's not real type of shit. Got you.
Like you have to scroll on Google all the way down before you even get anything close to the truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
This will be interesting to see what the closing statements are. And then Donnie, let me ask you, how are you feeling? Because obviously, like, no, you know what I mean. I'm into this politics stuff. You're not really so much. Like you kind of like, you dabble here a little couple things, blah, 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 blah. But like after sitting through a whole political stream, how does this land for you? Like what's going on for you? Jose, let's go. Hell yeah. No, thank you, man, for tuning in. We appreciate you 100%, man.
I'm just taking it all
every
in,
one
man.
of you guys.
It just, now that it's like in front of us, it's a little nerve-wracking, man. It's really nerve-wracking. Like it makes you nervous.
In what way? Like expound on that. Just to kind of, because there's people that can identify with what you're going through.
Right. I don't know. I just feel like we're on like a thin piece of ice. Right. And this is where it's going to break right here. Right. Whether it's going to get better or worse.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's just, I'm just taking it all in right now. And it's just, you can see through the lies, but it's like people are buying that shit, dude. That's what makes me nervous.
That's the scary part. That there's people that's actually drinking the Kool-Aid.
And that's what just makes me nervous because like,
to go what like Donnie said, like thin ice, right? So just picture going to a pond, right? And you have 1 million people following you.
Like
and you know the ice is thin. And there's a sign up that says thin ice.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you want those people to follow you. You're gonna take that sign down.
Ooh.
And you're gonna make those people feel as comfortable as possible.
Until they fall through the ice.
And then everybody's gonna walk out onto that thin ice and they're gonna fall right through.
Mike. Not for nothing, that was an amazing analogy, bro. Like for real, because that's really what's going on right now.
And what happens when we fall through that thin ice? World War III, genocide, people getting concentration camps, people fucking another depression, people rationing food, our guns getting taken away.
Yep.
All these things that Trump's talking about is gonna happen. That thin ice is broken.
Begin with you. Yep. Nah, for real.
So I think you've heard tonight two very different visions for our country.
Really?
One that is focused on the future.
You're so smart.
And the other that is focused on the past.
What?
And an attempt to take us back. But we're not going back.
How many times have we heard about you as a little girl?
That the American people know
are you talking about as a
so
past?
much more in common than what separates us. And we can chart a new way forward. And a vision.
How come you haven't done that yet, though? You're in the White House right now.
Exactly.
Understanding the
Mike,
aspirations, the dreams, the hopes, the ambition of the American people, which is why I intend to create an opportunity economy, investing in small businesses,
God,
in
What?
new families, in what we can do around protecting seniors.
Prove it. Do it now.
What we can do that is about
What have you done already?
giving
They need to make her take a
hardworking folks
breathalyzer
break
test.
and bringing down the cost of living. I believe.
Imagine, hey,
in
every
what
time
we
she
can
walks
do
into the
together
Oval Office, she has
that
to
is
breathe
about
into the
sustaining America's standing in the world and ensuring that we have the respect that we so rightly deserve, including respecting our
she is reading off
military
a
and ensuring we
teleprompter.
have the
I'm
most
looking at her
lethal
eyes. It
fighting
doesn't make
force
sense.
She
in the
really
world.
is.
I will be a president that will protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do.
You are the government.
I'll tell you, I
Yo,
started
you
my
are the
career
fucking
as a
government,
prosecutor.
bro.
I was a DA, I was
sorry,
an
I'm getting
attorney
worked up
general,
now.
a United States senator, and now vice president. I've only had one client, the people.
Yeah,
And I'll tell you,
right,
as a
bro.
prosecutor,
yeah.
I
Wow,
never
she
asked
really tried
a
that?
victim or a witness, are you
What,
a
the
Republican or
innocent
a
black people
Democrat?
that you put in
The
jail
only thing I
For real.
ever asked them, are you okay?
and laughed in the back of the
Or,
courtroom?
That's the kind of
the
president
people
we
that
need right
the
now.
kids that got molested
Someone
by
who
the
cares
Catholic
about
priest and you hid
and
the
is
evidence.
not putting themselves
Exactly.
first.
Yeah, those
I
are the people you're
intend to be a
protecting, bro.
president for
Get the fuck
all
outta here.
Americans.
Or the millions of children
and
that go missing
focus
every
on
day
what we can
that
do
come
over
over the
next
border
10 and
Exactly.
that
20
she's supposed to be in
years
control
to
of,
build back up our
and they're
country by
selling them.
investing
They're
right
putting
now
bracelets on
in
them,
you, the
pink
American
bracelets,
people.
trafficking
blue
them?
Vice
bracelets,
President
sex
Harris,
trafficking them.
thank you.
For real.
And
President
where's all
Trump
that money going? To Ukraine.
So she
Ain't
just
she the
started
same
by
one that
saying
was
she's going to
busting
do
on
this,
coyotes?
she's going to
'Cause
do
you know he
that,
was
she's
talking about
going to do
actual
all these
coyotes?
wonderful things.
Exactly, get her.
Why hasn't she done it? She's been there
Let's
for 3.5
go.
years.
Big facts, bro.
They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave.
It says
right
that they
now,
have
go down to that beautiful
554,000
White House,
people
go to the
watching.
Capitol,
There's
get everyone together and
333
do the
million
things you wanna
people in the
do, but
United
you haven't
States.
done it, and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in.
Yeah.
You believe in things like we're not going to frack, we're not going to take fossil fuel, we're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or
Have
not.
you seen a lithium
Germany
ion
tried that, and within 1 year they were back
mine?
to building normal
Yeah, they're in
energy
Ghana,
plants. We're not
Ghana.
ready for it.
It doesn't
and
matter.
stuff like
Can't
that.
It takes the
sacrifice
size
our
of a
country
fucking. It's
for
so
the sake
big
of bad
and it's
vision.
so deep
But
to
I
get
just
there.
ask one simple
Pause.
question.
But it,
Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world, they're laughed. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away
cut 'em off any
to
minute
the
now.
Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. What these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all, is allowing
crime, bro.
millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
President Trump,
Big facts.
thank you. And that is our ABC News presidential debate from here in Philadelphia at the National Constitution Center. I'm Lindsay Davis.
And I'm David Muir. Thank you for watching here in the U.S. and all over the world.
Breaking
and for all of
news.
us here at ABC News.
I'm
Kamala
Lindsay
Harris
Davis.
gets her kneecaps
And these-
broken on the way out.
I'm Lindsay Davis, and these are my shoulder pads.
Right? No animals were harmed in the making of these shoulder pads.
Let's get these clowns off the screen, man. Hold on, let me see.
Oh my god.
Donnie, can you get them off the screen? Oh, I got them off.
I need
All
to
right.
go take some Pepto-Bismol, man. That just made my fucking stomach hurt.
Yeah, man. That was Jesus. Oh my God, man. Listen. Jesus.
I don't know.
That hurt. Hey, yo. Sitting through that joint actually hurt, man. Like, I don't know, man. Listen. I'm just like, oh my God. Jesus. I hope enough people are smart enough not to fall for this okie doke shit and like we can like listen, I never been like an America, yeah, you know what I mean? Like none of that shit. But I will say that now I'm on my American shit, bro. As you can see, I'm on my American shit.
Hey, turn that
Like, you know
hat
what I mean?
around. Does that hat say
No, my
Make
head's too
America
big.
Great Again?
My head's too big. Like, I swear to God, I brought a Trump hat. It don't fit.
What does it say on the other side?
Can I have it?
Nothing. This says nothing. Look.
Can I have the Trump hat?
Look, this says nothing. But the thing I love about this hat
shit,
is when I'm walking through Walmart, people see my red hat, they be like, you know what I mean? They're trying to figure it out. But I be wearing a red hat.
No, they were like, damn, was that LL Cool J?
Yo, was that LL Cool J? Is that 50 Cent?
Yo, you should make a podcast, and just dedicate it to Trump and see if you can.
I was like, what the fuck do you think you're on right now?
No. And see if you could actually go to one of his rallies, bro, and get up on stage.
No. Listen. We're gonna go to a rally. Don't worry about it. We're gonna be there, yo.
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to do that. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Listen. All right, so let's do this for the sake of time, right? Because we don't want to stay on here all night. Let's do this. Let's each take a minute to give our final thoughts based on everything we've seen tonight and what we're thinking right now, and then we're gonna end the stream. So
what do you want to start with?
It's up to you. Let's do this. Pick a number between 1 and 3. Both of you guys. Johnny, what number did you pick?
3?
Yeah. 3? Mike, what number did you pick?
1.
All right, you go first.
All right. What have I taken away from this? Is the question, right?
Yeah. Hey, 60 seconds. 60 seconds. Keep it to 60 seconds. If you go past 60 seconds, I'm gonna rudely cut you off like I have shoulder pads on.
Okay. Listen. Trump 24. Listen, it's a no-brainer.
Mr. Mike, that's out of time. No, I'm just kidding.
That's it, Mike. Next question.
But no, seriously, we need to vote for Trump. Anybody that votes for Kamala Harris clearly is either mentally unstable, right?
These views are Mike. These views are Mike's. These are views.
All right, let's not bash the audience
because we want to get people to like.
What is your outtake?
They want to vote for. Talk about what you specifically stick away and what decisions you're gonna make in November. Don't bash anybody who votes for somebody.
All right, in November, I'm making these decisions based on these opinions of my own.
Why are you making the decisions you're making? What is it that sticks out to you, and why is it like what's leading to this decision?
What's leading me to this decision is look at our schools. Look at what our children have to go through in school. We don't salute the American flag anymore. We salute a gay pride flag, right? Right? It's not I pledge of allegiance to the rainbow. It's I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, right? So our children can't go to school and say that they believe in Jesus. They can't go to school and say they believe in God, right? But they can
listen.
Go to school,
I'm not even religious, but that shit hit me when you said that, bro.
But they can go to school and say that they want to change their gender at 6 years old, and then the teachers and the principals can distribute puberty blockers to these children without their parents even having a word to say.
Oh, they're gonna catch these hands.
You know what happened to my kid personally in school? He said that he was voting for that he supports Trump and that his dad is voting for Trump. You know what his teachers said to him? That they don't talk about Trump in that school, that Trump's a dictator.
Really?
Right? Really.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is Cranston, Rhode Island schools. Right?
Yep.
So, and then I also seen another thing that pissed me off the other day where a lady said she was going to be a teacher and she didn't know what she wanted her students to call her. Ma'am, sir, or both. But she didn't identify as both because she's non-binary and she's neither. And then when she got
Mike,
asked,
hold on, you just hurt my head, bro. What the fuck you say? It's too late for that shit, man.
Right? She said she's non-binary. So she said that she doesn't identify as a man or a woman. She's neither. So she said that she wanted her students to call her both. Right? Yeah. But she can't because her students are 4 years old. She's going to be teaching fourth graders.
Nah. You said 4 years old.
4 years old.
No. Rewind. Because if you're in the fourth grade, you can't be 4 years old. You got to be 12.
Well, no, fourth graders. No, she said they're fourth graders, not 4 years old. Fourth graders. My bad.
I was about to start swinging. And then you said fourth graders. I was like, hold on, wait a minute.
Fourth graders. So you're telling me in the fourth grade that you're going to be teaching our children, and you can't even decide if you're a man or a woman. I feel like anybody that teaches our kids should have a mental evaluation. Any teacher that goes into the classroom with our children, underage kids, should have a mental evaluation, right? And they shouldn't be biased to anything.
Yeah,
the gay agenda, the straight agenda, anything. They're not there for that.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Exactly.
This is how you spell "the." You know what I mean? They're
Exactly.
there to teach basic education.
Yeah,
Any
there should be no
ideologies
talk of any of that. There should be no talk of any of that.
I don't even care
Yo,
if it's
learn
stuff that I believe
curriculum.
in.
That's
Keep
it.
that shit out the fucking school.
You know what I
Teach them
seen when I walked into
curriculum.
Charlie's school?
What's up?
I walked into his school, and right over top of the bubbler is a gay pride flag. But I sent Charlie to school with a hoodie on that had a machine gun on it, and it said the right to bear arms. Our brothers in arms, our right to bear arms. And they made him take it off. It said it was against school policy. So he can't wear a shirt that says that he has the right to bear arms, but somebody can wear a shirt that says that they support that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they put people like us in a difficult situation because if we speak out about it,
yeah,
we're against it. We're what do they call
you're a homophobe,
sexist, or homophobe, or womanizer, or this or that, or whatever you call it. But if we speak out against it, exactly. That's just what pisses me off. That's why I'm voting for Trump, because I feel like schools should be brought back to the point where parents have a say-so on what happens with their children.
Listen, when I went to school, they didn't talk to me about what I did with my balls. They just taught me like regular school stuff.
When we went to school, we had sexual education.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But it was basic stuff. It was like, yo.
It was basic stuff.
Fill your balls. Make sure you don't have no lumps.
Masturbation is a part of life. We all do it. One day, you're going to wake up and your penis is going to be erect. That's literally how sex ed went.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, if your penis gets hard, you can cut it off. Like,
I just wanted to clip that. That's why I put you in the big screen.
Yeah, this shit get hard. You can cut it off. Yo, all right. Whoa, I don't even know how to disclaim.
You can take puberty blockers to block that hard penis.
I think we're a little off topic here.
We took Uncut show to the next level. All right, thanks, Mike, for your last. Donnie,
hey, listen. I don't care what people think about me.
No, you
all my political views. That's why I always say, if you don't like it, unfriend me.
Listen,
because
this is America, man. We have the right to freedom of speech, man. If you don't like what I'm saying, just don't listen to me. That's it.
Yep.
That's simple.
Listen, on the weekends, I want to shoot a gun, I want to drink a cold beer, and I want to salute my flag. Yep. That's what I would like to do.
Yep.
That's what every American would want to do.
Yeah.
And pretty soon we won't be able to do that.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, make America great again.
Yeah. I'm on my American shit 100%, bro.
Now what's yours? You're number 2.
I'm number 2? Oh yeah, Donnie, you picked number 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So listen. Here's my final thoughts on it, man. Real talk, listen. Whatever you if you're well researched and you come to a conclusion, I respect it. But if you're not researched at all and you're following headlines and you're being brainwashed into what to think, I don't respect it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter what I respect. At the end of the day, you got to live with your own decisions. You know what I mean? And that's that. But what I will say is this. You know what I mean? I'm just going to talk to America for a minute, right? Is America the perfect thing? No. You know what I mean? Has America been the perfect thing? No. But America, the idea of America and what it stands for and the ideals that America represents on the world stage is a very good thing. You know what I mean? And the fact that I have a family and I'm raising a family and my kids are moving into society, I'm going to say that me as a father, me as a grown-ass man, me as a critical thinker, I stand for America. You know what I mean? Because I want my kids to have the same freedoms, the same opportunities, the same advantages that I had growing up in America. You know what I mean? Like, I don't buy into all of that. I'm a victim. People are oppressing me. That racism's holding me back. Like, I don't buy any of that shit. You know what I mean? I did at one point. At one point in my life, when I was very younger, I believed, yo, the man's holding me back. Yo, because I'm black, I can't do this. And because I'm black. Nah, fuck all of that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, in America, if you work your fucking ass off and you have something to offer to the marketplace, you can make it in America, 100%. And even if you don't want to be successful and make it in America and build a successful business and all that type of shit, guess what? You have the freedom in America to raise a healthy, happy, functioning family and not have to worry about the things that people worry about in other countries. You don't have to worry about some random random group of people kicking your door in and seizing your home or you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about that type of stuff. Like, we literally live in America. America's a great place. But what we got to consider is this. There are forces that be that want America not to exist anymore. And that's what we're seeing subtly on the world stage. You know what I mean? Because there's everyone around the world aspires to be like America. They look at America, they say, yo, those people are free. They could be whatever they want. They could do whatever they want. We got to go to America. And that's why people die trying to come here. People stuff themselves in Mack trucks. You know, hundreds of people in a Mack truck. Some people die from suffocation to get here. People swim across bodies of water that you couldn't even imagine. People throw their kids over walls to get into America, not knowing what's going to happen to them, but they know that whatever's going to happen is more than likely better than what's happening in their country now. You know what I mean? That's what America is. The idea of America is so great that people will die to get here. And the people that are here are not even taking an advantage of it because they drank the Kool-Aid that somehow America is against them. It's not. America is an open opportunity for anybody willing to do the work. And I see that now. You know what I mean? And I stand for that now. You know what I mean? So, like, for me, I'm like, yeah, we got to save America. And I'm really on my American shit. And call it what you want. You know what I mean? But I'm on my American shit. And I'm on my save the idea of America for the kids. You know what I mean? And we got to preserve America. I used to be like a liberal. You know me, I'm very spiritual. I used to be the guy to like, you know what? If you want to do this, go ahead, do that. You want to do this, go ahead, do that. Everybody should be free to do what they want. I used to be very liberal. But they went so far off of the cliff that I said, shit, I can't be with them anymore. I got to conserve. I have to be conservative, and I got to conserve what I know to be right because they're trying to take it somewhere goofy, and I'm not with the goofy shit. You know what I mean? So my takeaway from this is this. We do got to save America. We do got to preserve the values of America, you know what I mean? For the kids, you know what I mean? For the future. Because honestly, there's people inside of America and outside of America that do not want America to exist. Because in order to overthrow the entire world, you have to do away with the concept of America. Because as long as people have a beacon of a place where they can go and be free, they're always going to have somewhere to go to. You know what I mean? You get rid of America. People don't even consider that. America's not that old. America's only, 500 years old? It's a new concept. It's not normal what we're doing here in America. This is some new idea that they came with. You know what I mean? We got to preserve that because they want to get rid of that shit, man. They want to. And I'm on my American shit. So guess what? I'm proud to be an American. You know what I mean? I don't agree with everything America does. I know America does some nasty, dirty shit in the dark. I'm aware of that. We do some funky shit all over the world. I'm aware of that. You know what I mean? But what I also am aware of is that the idea of America and what it represents, and even if it is some fluff that they're selling us, just to believe it for a second gives my kids an advantage that they probably wouldn't have anywhere else on this earth. And I'm going to stand for that 10 toes down. You know what I mean? And I'm not with the fuckery. I'm not with, you're not going to blow smoke on my ass and make me feel like, oh, because I'm a black dude, I got to vote for Kamala. Nah. Exactly. Nah. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Because I understand what she represents, and I would never stand with that. I don't stand with her. I would never stand with her. And do with that what you may. You know what I mean? But for me, the most important thing is the future of my children. And when I look at any presidential candidate, you know what I mean? And even if I buy into the idea, they don't really run it. They're just puppets, blah, 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 all that type of shit. I still have to go to bed knowing that I casted a vote based on these sets of principles. And even if the country goes to shit, I know, hey, when I went to that box and I fucking put my name on the ballot, or I checked the box or whatever it was, these are the set of principles that I voted for. You know what I mean? Yeah. sugarcoating
I
gangsters.
totally agree.
Hell yeah, 1000%. Chris in the house, I seen you on Facebook posting up, so I just started tagging people that was on Facebook active about what's going on. So Donnie, no pressure. Final thoughts.
No pressure. I'm gonna say like this, right? Yeah. I'm not gonna pick either side right this second.
Yep.
Like I am, but I'm not gonna talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at the past, right? Power wins every single time. You got to be strong. You have to show strength. You can't be weak. And they're talking about Trump acts like a dictator. What's a dictator? It's powerful. He doesn't want to become one, but they say he's acting like one. It's power. It's not that he's acting like a dictator. He's acting powerful. He's showing strength instead of weakness, right? They're talking about electric cars and doing good for the environment, right? But it's not. The guy who created these cars are telling you that not every person can own one. It's going to kill the environment. It's going to kill the world. If every single person owns an electric car, it's going to kill that environment. We talk about, stupidly spending and money has been bankrupt, like he had bankrupt companies and stuff like that. You just gave away exactly what he bankrupt, more than he bankrupt, in military equipment, advanced military equipment. So now they have an advantage. They know what we're using. They have their hands on it. They're inside of it, right? This is all foreign technology to them, and now they're inside of it using it. Dangle it in front of, hey, you want your money? It's right here. You guys left. I think no matter what side you pick, it's scary, right? We're on the brink of nobody likes. There's always someone that doesn't like each other's side, right? So there's Democrats, or even around the world, that don't like Trump. There's people that don't like Democrats, like Biden and Harris. It's going to happen no matter what. But it's the power, it's the fear. You need to create fear because fear is power. And I don't know. It's scary, man. It really is. It's a scary thing to think about, that, like you said, casting your vote chooses who runs this country, and it's either going to go up or it's going to go down. But what really pissed me off is, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, but yet you're sitting in the fucking chair that can do it right now, and you're not fucking doing it. So why should I believe that you're going to do something if you haven't fucking done it? Facts speak louder than words. Gas prices were low. I'm not going to say whose administration that was under, but there was no wars. We were calm. People were settling arguments.
You said, should I hop on? Hell yeah, you can hop on, bro. What's up, baby? Let's do it. Yo, watch this. I know we about to get off Donnie, because Donnie got to.
Should I? Can he? Is it all right if he trades spots with me?
Yeah, but hold on. Don't just dip yet. You're gonna dip. I'm gonna let you dip off, Donnie. But hold on. Don't dip yet, though. Did Donnie just leave?
Nah, I was just fucking.
Oh shit, bro. I was like, yo, Donnie just dipped off. Yo, that's fucked up, man. Let me see. Yeah,
I do have to leave though.
Yeah, no, I gotta go too. 1000%. But I just want to see. Fuck. Hold on. I don't know why this shit is acting crazy. Let me just do this real quick.
But the end of my thing is just choose wisely, right? I'm not going to tell you who to choose. I'm not pulling you to one direction to another. I'm just letting you know, just choose wisely. This is the future, right? This isn't a game. This isn't like a American Idol reality show. This is your life. This is the future of everybody. It's don't let the brink of war scare anybody. It could happen on either side. But what you need to understand is, look at the economy. You don't want to spend billions of dollars. Is this man taking a piss? No, go ahead, finish that.
I'm filling my cup.
You don't want to spend billions of dollars on fuel and all this. You know what I mean? Like, without bringing jobs back to the United States. If we can do that here, let's do it here. the biggest fight we have, right, is oil, right? We go to these countries to look for oil. If we have the ability to do it here, and maybe not use it all here, but like relieve some of the pressure.
Yeah.
Why not try to take advantage of that?
No, 100%. Listen, I'm not.
I think we might have lost Mike. I'm gonna be honest.
Really?
Mike.
Fuck Mike go.
Yeah, I think we lost Mike. Oh, he's back. He's back.
Okay.
Yeah, I was sending stuff to you guys on Messenger.
Oh, nah, I just seen it right now. Yeah. Yo,
hold on.
Hold on.
I got another one. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Oh shit. This guy's nuts. Nah, my boy Chris was trying to get on, man, to holler at us, but he said it's not letting him on. But listen, if we have to end the stream and you don't get on tonight, I'm gonna talk to you, man, to get on to what? That's weird. It's doing nothing. It's showing nothing. If it don't give you nothing, I'm gonna reach out to you separately, man, to set up for you to get on another stream. You know what I mean? Because obviously we already. How long have we been streaming?
2 hours and 30 minutes.
Since 8:30. Since 8:30.
2.5 hours. So this is what we're gonna do. Chris, hold on to them thoughts, baby, because listen, we be streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today we did a Tuesday stream because obviously today was a very special event, and we wanted to do something special for the event. So we'll be back. We usually do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll be back on Friday. I'm gonna reach out to you separately, try to set something up, man, and get you on the stream.
We can continue this conversation Friday if you want.
Exactly. We can
can you guys name Friday's podcast? Why Kamala?
Nah, you know we're gonna. This is what I want to name Friday's podcast.
Kamala, chameleon. She comes and goes. She comes and goes. Chameleon. It's a chameleon like a.
That bitch a chameleon like a motherfucker.
yo, they just muted me. Somebody muted me. It says that I was on mute.
Oh, it was Donnie. I blame Donnie.
No. And that's because he played a video.
When we play a video and mute you, so you can't say anything when the video's playing. But listen, let's get out of here tonight. It's already past 11. Listen, we appreciate all of you guys. Well, Mike, we appreciate you for jumping on the stream with us.
Yeah,
let's go, baby.
Mike.
Hey, become part of the family, bro. You know what I mean?
I'll try.
Get on these streams, baby. You know what I mean?
I'll try. I didn't want to come on because I haven't had a haircut in like 2 weeks and it looked kind of rough.
Nah, nobody cares about that, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man.
They got all this gray hair, man.
It's all good, buddy. It's all good, buddy.
No, you guys remember that?
I can't. Okay,
they're nice. They're nice, guys. They're nice.
They're nice.
We don't want to step on the thin ice.
That was a good ass analogy, man. That was a good. So I'm ready for the hate mail. Donnie, you're gonna get hate mail too. Mike, you might get some hate messages.
I don't already.
Actually, matter of fact, Mike gets more than us. For real.
I won't even say, but you know.
I
got people that threaten that when they see me, we're gonna talk.
We're gonna talk. You see me, we're gonna beat you back into a Democrat.
Right.
But listen, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys for tuning in with us tonight. Listen, there's a lot going on in the damn country, man, and you know we're not a super political show, but today was a very special event. And we had to touch on it. You know what I mean? There was no way we could not touch on it 1,000%. Right. You know what I mean? Chris said next time, we're going to get Chris in there. Joe said,
sure.
Trump, baby. Let's go. We're going to get Trump on the stream next year.
We got to get Chris in here. We got to get Chris Tex in here.
Yeah, 1,000.
We got to get him in here for sure.
Yeah, maybe Friday. Mike, you coming back Friday?
I'll make an appearance.
All right. Chris, I'm going to hit you up, man, so we can set up for Friday. Get you
right. Long because I got a long weekend, but
no, it's fine. Friday, it won't be as long as tonight. Usually we only stream at most down in like an hour.
Most is an hour.
Like an hour,
an hour, half an hour to an hour.
Yeah, something like that. So it'll be quick. But that's it for tonight, man.
That's it.
You know what I forgot to say?
In a world full of political correctness, Coach Brown and Donnie Rhoades are choosing to keep free speech alive, uncensored, unfiltered, uncut.